Hello, welcome to the Console Gaming League Call of Duty Warzone Kill Race Tournament. Saturday, May 23rd. I'm Corbec, joined here in the lovely CGL studios with the great Swift on production. How are you doing today, Sultan?
Fantastic, man. The pretty good kill race. We had the previous format just kind of through the New Dawn finals a couple weeks ago, so happy to get back to kill race format. We just see teams blitzing through the map, trying to get as many knocks as they can. So I think it should be a fun couple hours.
Yeah, indeed, and Warzone obviously kind of one of the newcomers in the battle royale scene, making a lot of waves, getting a lot of positive press. Modern Warfare in general, I guess, kind of going in there. Taking a look at these teams that we kind of have initially on our screen, you have in the top left corner Toto's Kittens, led by one of our popular FGC players there, Destroyer FGC. You got Motor City Mercs next to them, and then below them is Jim Buck Savage Mooney, and then finally Primal Esports. And it looks like all these guys are in a game here, but let's just get a quick look up there in the top corner. Destroyer and his teammates there. It looks like they have to go in for the res and are calling it a loadout drop as well. Now, I don't know how much experience have you had with the Warzone kind of gameplay, Sultan?
Quite a bit, actually. I think behind Apex, Warzone's the battle royale that I generally prefer. I was actually playing it this morning just to get a little bit of a refresher and switching to a couple other games. So I wanted to make sure I was still familiar with the format and whatnot, kind of get the feel for it. And I mean, I just think it's a really fun game, Call of Duty in general. I like the way the guns feel, and I feel like they translated that really well to Warzone. So it's just kind of it settles in a nice spot as a battle royale for me personally.
Yeah, see, I feel like my experience with the Warzone has been a little bit limited, but I literally just finished up the campaign for Call of Duty last night, so I really like that. You already know that, though. I expressed that quite vigorously, but it certainly is interesting. You see them now kind of moving through downtown Tovorsk. The biggest problem I see for kind of Destroyer and his crew right now is they haven't really gotten much action yet in this map. 33 teams, 77 players left overall. Actually make that 78. It seems like somebody just got back in, and they're kind of pushing towards the stadium, which is that's just a lot of open ground to cover, Sultan. That's a lot of opportunities to kind of get bumped by somebody else coming the other way.
Yeah, not a great position to be in, especially since you're going through those open areas. You're more likely going to get picked off from somebody than to find an interaction. But as we say that, somebody right outside stadium looks like they might have caught Destroyer's team. They're kind of move in and see if they can get a few more kills on the board. Looks like Destroyer's got at least the one there. Still 72 teams left, about the same for the two of these other streams. One's still just about started, but fantastic shot there from Destroyer to get the first limb. Ooh, and gets knocked out though.
That's unfortunate too. The shadow sight that he's using right there with those 60 bullets, really valuable in these kind of situations, and they're actually just going to straight up finish him off, which is a little bit nasty. I'm not sure actually where the rest of his team peeled off there. Didn't quite come back around to help him at all, and he gets sent to the gulag. So I think we'll flip out of his stream for a second there. If he wins his way back in, maybe we'll come back and take a quick look. Why don't we just hop over here to General Willie and the boys for the Motor City Mercs, who look like they've just lost track of a bounty target here, but their ring is closing. 29 teams left in the match, 66 players. Only one kill here for General's name, but looks like they're closing in on another bounty target as well. So not entirely kind of giving up on the bounty hunt. Again, it's one of the interesting dynamics of a Warzone kill race as well, Sultan. The bounties become kind of trying to climb the ladder. There we go. That was it. That was kind of funny. It's like, I can just jump over this, right? Unfortunately not. It's one of the interesting aspects kind of, I think, of these Warzone kill races is you have to wonder how much the contracts are actually that valuable. I think there are a lot of players who do a significant amount of contract hunting to kind of get themselves ahead of the curve in terms of, loot and what have you. But when your objective is to get as many kills as possible, I'm not sure how much kind of the bounty grinding actually helps.
I think it's kind of situational, right? If you're in a position where you can pick up a bounty and it's relatively close to you, then you can go for it, fine. But if you're like hunting over just to be able to find the bounty contract in the first place, then obviously you're wasting time. But the advantage it gives you is that you've got a UAV on one team specifically. So to some extent, you're, depending on skill level, you're almost guaranteeing kills, or at the very least an interaction that gives you the potential for those, and you can continue on. When they're already in the circle, the where you are isn't as important, I guess, to get the bounty post, so it doesn't even matter in this particular case. But I think that if there's an opportunity to try and get a couple kills, you know, why not? You might pick up a few more on the way, or maybe a third party comes in and you come away with 5 knocks or something like that. So I don't know. I think that I'm not going to go out of my way to go for those bounties, but if you've got one near you and it's an opportunity to kind of get off on the right foot, why not?
I mean, they've got a lot of clearance here, but they've got somebody on. Oh, I thought they had somebody on site, but it was just his teammate. Tags were too distant for him to see at that particular difference. Levi Gulag, that's the name and a half. I like that one. I wonder.
These games ending early for some of these teams, though.
Yeah,
Destroyer we were just on already back out, so.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Gulag must not have gone very well for him then. Obviously, he can just kind of queue right back in, but still. Not the best. They've got a target down here kind of hiding around this building and garage, this warehouse as it were. Looks like they're actually going to just get hyper aggressive here, drop straight down. Definitely targets in the house. You see him running by the window there. Doesn't fire, so doesn't reveal the position. You can tell also that they kind of have the requisite sort of mortar man here. Nice shot on that RPG, who's kind of throwing that fire in from the high ground. This is, I think, one of the more common trio stats in Warzone. You kind of have one guy who's the explosive expert, as it were. You see they're trying to push whoever this was. Kind of in a difficult spot here, Sultan, though, because they don't. I think they've kind of lost sight of whether they got back into the house, and it's a good stop there to just re-up the armor plates. Oh, hello, speed back in the house. Ah, man, corner camping.
Yeah, really. It looked like they were coming to that position in a really good spot. Yeah, it looked like they were in a really good spot for that, but it all kind of fell apart. I think you're exactly right. They almost kind of were aggressive getting up to the house and then a little bit too tentative there. So unfortunate for them to get knocked out there. But again, game's coming quick and loose for some of these teams. They're already queuing back into another one.
Yeah.
Over here on the top of
yeah.
But, see what they can do.
Yeah, we'll see if Destroyer gets queued back in as we kind of go back and take a quick look here. Jimbucks is trying to engage at range, so maybe we'll just zoom in on there for a second, getting those sniper rifle shots in. Spectating, I guess, his teammate looking, I think it's Mooney he might be on right now with the sniper rifle up on the high ground. His team, I think, has enough money to redeploy him, Sultan, so hopefully they will kind of get him back in on the action.
I'm sure they do, actually.
Back to back, you gotta hit it.
It's like $1,200 maybe. Some slim pickings down there for. I don't know if they've got quite. Yeah, not quite enough to get him back in just yet, but in the best position, you know, so to speak, relative to the other 3 teams who got on here. Not a great kill start from a kills perspective, or from a couple of these teams, but you know, there's opportunities. Still early.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting position that
Yeah, I think it is.
He's got over here. Savage just kind of looking. They know that their bounty target is still, I believe, over there, hiding behind that wall. He's actually going to sacrifice the high ground positioning and move out into the open. He immediately pays for it because those shots are coming in fast and furious. He nearly drops right there, Sultan. That's incredibly close as he just gets those armor plates into his jacket and gets the heal up. You can see the teammates discussing what to do next. There's the target. So he does have a slight advantage here with the sniper rifle. Looking for the headshot. Gets it. Boom. Hello.
Oh, my goodness.
Next one will take him out. Beautiful bit of shooting right there. Turns that ambush right on its head. Unfortunately, he still has, unfriendlies over there where Mooney is. It looks like Mooney might have pushed up and cleared that out, or they've run off, so he is fortunate there. Got his teammate securing his back, but that was a bit. Okay. I don't actually know. Do you know what that was that he just destroyed? I feel like really ignorant for not knowing what that was. Oh, yeah, our producer reliably informs us that it's a trophy system, which I know what a trophy system is, so we're good on that. Grabs his contract as well, goes back into the hunt. Oh, and he's lost another teammate here. I was knocked right away, kind of peeking those corners, and this kind of open ground fight, Sultan, looking a little rough for them right now, to be honest, all things considered.
Yeah, and they're not there's like no money flow in right now. You're trying to get your third member back. Where's the priority? I mean, they can be a little bit more aggressive, obviously trying to snipe, but you want to be able to get back up to your 3 as quickly as possible. They're playing a little slow. You're looking at, I guess, 4 kills on at least the member we're viewing.
Live ping him.
Yeah, see, 4 kills is decent. Kind of misses that shot there. He's getting flanked as well. I don't know if he noticed. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's his teammate got knocked by somebody who's, I think, is just behind that ridge. Obviously wants to go for the res here, but going in the res in the middle of the open field. Great use of the positioning there behind the rock to get the res in on his teammate. Try and get him out of danger.
You were not wrong.
They're really suffering from that lack of cover because there comes the shots in again, and they're so accurate. half his health out of the bank. No armor plates left either. This is a dangerous situation for Savage, especially with that gas closing in. Couple of good shots his way. Might have gotten the knock there. Not entirely clear. He's got the teammate sprinting for his teammate as well. Gets a couple of shots in there. Having to fight this off. He will go down as he's third party from behind.
Yep. Yeah, that's just not the spot you want to be in. That was a really difficult position. He did play the, what he had to work with really well with the rock and obviously using the res to body block a little bit, but ultimately just couldn't get the kill across the way fast enough, and another team swarmed right in on him. So good effort though. Good effort.
Left, right, they're running.
Good effort indeed. Checking around kind of the state of our teams here in the multi-view. So Rogue Strike and the boys there at Primal Esports. I have it written in all caps on my notes because I felt it was the only appropriate way to write Primal Esports, are in the Gulag right now. Meanwhile, on the top, actually about to fight in the Gulag. Let's see how this goes. I'm kind of curious. Check out that right side. Sweeps left, sees nothing. Kind of continues to push up the outside edge. Still looking, trying to play off the sound cues. Looking here, can't find anybody. I tell you what, Sultan, Gulag is there. He's got him nicely. Well done. Gulag is like, the very is the definition of an intense 1v1. I tell you what.
Yeah, nice that they've got at least assault rifles or automatic weapons in instead of the like shotguns, what have you, from the past.
Yeah, the shotguns.
Goodness, making it tough.
Gonna go hop back here and just take a look at Destroyer, who's currently holding the top of a staircase. His teammate, one of them, already out. They need to redeploy in. They don't, I think, have enough to get him quite back. Both of his teammates out, I just noticed, actually, too. I think he might have just lost Foam Guy here as well. So Destroyer on the kind of solo mission right now has to generate that money, has to buy back in at least one person here.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, it starts getting a little tougher though, because obviously, you've got to get both people back in already. On top of that, there's still a lot of time left in this game, and you've already gone down a game. So hopefully he's able to pick up a couple here. Looks like he has. There's two. Not too bad. Definitely salvageable, but now priority number one, finish off these kills and then get your team back in the game.
Yeah, I think if you look at the way that it's gone, I think they might have just had a bad drop. Obviously. Well done. We might have just had a bad drop situation when you look at it. 48 teams, 107 players left, both of the guys out. 3 kills already though for Destroyer, so I mean he's picking up the slack as best he can, kind of getting what loot he can out of this as well. He's up to enough money where he can redeploy at least one of his teammates if he finds a buy station, but I mean obviously Sultan, the solo approach to a buy station, always kind of a stressful experience for most players. Oh, he's going right for it. Look at him go. Well done. And the fortunate thing about this one too, they're gonna have a ton of loot. It's actually really good.
Yeah. I feel like teams are more conscientious about buy stations now, especially, and it's just the whole thing's harder, right? Trying to get back in the increased costs and looted money drops.
Indeed. And I mean, it's just, the longer the game is in existence, right, the more strategies begin to be developed and the more things people tend to learn more. I remember the same thing kind of happened with Apex. There was a couple of months there at the beginning where nobody really knew what was the best, but now with the time in the bank, does he go for that? He does. Oh, come on. The poor guy he's shooting at had no idea what was going on there for about 2 seconds. This guy getting pushed by a team as well up there too. This is a great little position here for him to just cause a lot of havoc for whatever that poor gentleman's having a really bad day. Foam Guy is back in 23 meters away, it looks like, so he'll be just getting some loot. And it looks like both of them are going to go up here and kind of push the blue warehouse. Checking in. Funny enough, Sultan, I really know like very few of the place names for this game. I feel like there's just so much territory to cover. Kind of learning all the callouts is a little bit of a challenge. Kind of like my experience with Rainbow Six Siege, to be honest. There's just, thousands of callouts. Oh, he's going to go for the RPK here. Cool. Good. P90 RPK. So it's just a decent setup there. Got a close range and long range engage in the tank. Gonna rotate around, but really honestly he's done a really good job, Sultan, of pulling this one back, because this could have been an absolute disaster. Instead now he's sitting here with 3 kills and he's got one of his teammates back in, and they're well on their way to getting Caboose back in as well.
Very true. Here comes the fourth though. Doesn't even see him across the way. Breaks the shield easily. Destroyer finds another one. You're exactly right. This is the game that's kind of working out for them. Definitely hoping to get the third member back in, but just lasering right across to pick up that fourth kill for Totos.
Ooh. Oh, he's safely inside. He should be okay from the precision airstrike, I would hope. Gonna hit dirt just in case.
Ooh, there it is.
Oh, well
Surprise.
done. That was really well done.
Very, very nice.
That's...
They might have enough money now to get that third member back. So incredibly well done here with a difficult start, overcoming adversity, and now off to a really good round here.
Yeah, that was really well played in the building there. Great use of just playing off those sound cues, basically getting the bait. As you can see, he's just kind of pushing up these hallways. Got the heartbeat sensor out, so he's actively checking. But I think they might. Oh no, maybe not. Can't tell if I saw 2 pings on that or not, but it looks like Foam Guy's already gone. And they'll pick up the rest of that cash so they can go for the respawn. Hello. Oh no.
It's all kind of coming, just falling into place.
Yeah, it really is actually. They've done spectacularly well to place the parachute there. Great play to get on the high ground over the top of them. There's still, I think, 1 target viable here. Sure enough, well played again. Absolutely doing a spectacular job of really using these maps, Sultan. He's playing it really, really well. This is some really solid play.
Yeah, this is an impressive run for Destroyer. And right from the beginning, like I said, tough drop right off the bat. Teammates go down, and he's able to pick up 3 quick picks, gets a few back. Now they've got their full crew ready to go. 8 kills, 70 left. A lot to go in this map, and it's looking like a really good round.
Indeed, you're gonna have to imagine the sort of, or admire, I guess I should say, the sang Freud there, just kind of like keeping it together when he was the only one left in, pulling off the awesome sort of sound cue kill, making great use of the parachute as well. Definitely salvaging this situation. So we'll check back in on them a little bit later. Let's pop out to our multi-view here for a second and see how all of our teams that we have up on the screen are doing right now. Looks like a relatively big kill, or no, I was gonna say a relatively big kill game. I thought it was a 10. It's a 0. So maybe a bit of a slow start here for General Willie and the boys. Meanwhile, down definitely a big difference between those 2 numbers. I'll tell you what. So this whole
it looks like Primal's only playing with 2 people. I don't know what the story is for that one, but they do have 2 kills on screen.
Yeah, maybe they've lost somebody due to connectivity issues. That's unfortunate.
Might be the case. Looks like they might have another member here though.
Primal's got someone on sites there with the heartbeat monitor. Maybe we'll just peek in here and see how they deal with the situation. Somebody holding up in that house across the street. Row trying to play it very carefully, just watching those windows. Savage Caliber there as well. Now Savage is actually going to, I think, push up here. Definitely saw what might have been somebody peek their head back in through that door. Not really sure. Savage Caliber is just going to go straight for it. Walks up, heartbeat sensor out, and they might have gotten whoever was hiding in there to kind of bug out at that situation. Nope. On sights, gets a couple of shots in. Can't quite bring it down. At least they know where they are. Oh, that's just an unfortunate gunfight loss there for Rogue.
That is the most frustrating thing when you're trying to be just calculated in your approach, a little slow, trying to creep up on an enemy and then just end up getting seen out in body. That's not what you want to see. So tough there for a couple kills, but that's how it goes sometimes. All these other games in the same kind of spot, it looks like relatively early. We've got Motor City Mercs and Jimbuck Savage Mooney all early-ish in their games, about 80 to 90 teams left, around 60 or so for Destroyer, who got somebody else in their sights.
The Destroyer currently kind of farming up there on the top left. General Willie, I think, had a quick engage there as well. You could see some shots going in. I don't think he downed anyone. Certainly, Destroyer and the boys there on the top, really looking to be the most solid game on the monitor right now, as it were. As you see, General Willie gets knocked up there in the top right corner. And he'll just go down completely. Not a lot he can do. Just gonna hone back in here on Destroyer for a second, kind of watch the maestro at work, because they have racked up 8 kills now for Destroyer, and he has got a absolute bevy of loot here, Sultan in the top side for him to take his pick of. God.
Yeah, pretty ideal position to be in. Now they got like everything they need to continue out this map. Still 50 players left on 24 teams, so more than enough time to continue just slicing through. Still stalled at 8 kills. It seemed like they got quite a few kills there for a little bit. Stalled somewhat now, so looking to increase that momentum. Looking at the leaderboard, there are some teams that are flying right now, so you want to scramble to get a few more of those.
Yeah, he's
Get
got
back
this
in the mix, so to speak.
absolutely fly-looking gold MP5 as well. You know that matters. Skins matter. You aim better with it for sure. Heartbeat Center battle rifle. Neither of those really interest him. Might actually already have a sensor. Does also, I should say, I think have a loadout drop on standby there. If he chooses to use it. So plenty of good stuff for them. Like you said, Sultan, they have all the pieces to really make this one stick. Right now, though, just kind of in the doldrums kill-wise, though certainly they've built up enough of a buffer where they can afford to do this. And it looks like, can't tell if they're going to get in the car or not, if they're just doing that to see if they can draw some attention out.
Yeah,
They
it
put the
just looked like a
trophy
little bit of
system on
indecision
their
about which way
hood.
to go.
Amazing. That's actually so
that
clever.
work?
Apparently he did it. I'm like fascinated to see if somebody shoots something out of it and it gets caught by the trophy system. I'm gonna absolutely love it.
Yeah, listen to the comms. It looks like they're looking for a couple bounties. A little frustrated they can't seem to find any. So yeah, they're just looking for ways to attract some more interactions or to find ways to get something going. Because again, I mean, it's still a pretty good start, but you've got to assume those 8 kills the destroyer has have to be near the upper limit of what the team has, given how long the members were down. So yeah, they really want to start getting a few more. That being said, like we said, the other streams we're looking at right now, not a ton of kills going this way. Actually, it's Jim Buck Savage Mooney in 18th place currently. Now that's behind the European teams already played. So they're actually third so far to the North American teams with scores reported, while the losers kind of pulling away a little bit with something like 29 kills already. That was right after the first game. So now you got a couple teams getting into the 20s, and yeah, it's starting to take shape a little bit on this leaderboard. So Destroyer improved, trying to take down a helicopter with some success, I might add.
Lighten it up. Yeah, it's actually putting a ton of small arms fire into that helicopter. Really causing some havoc there, to be honest. Still have yet to see the trophy system on the front of the car kick off, which is a little disappointing. The world's most utilitarian hood ornament. Really curious to see if that works. That's actually, for some reason, I just find this absolutely fascinating. Also, it just stays on there, which is just a perfect example of graphics in games. You gotta love it when their bounty got poached as well, so they'll get some stuff out of that. I mean, you gotta love it when you get these weird little perks of a game or aspects of a game.
Yeah. I've seen you can also put a loadout drop in the back of one of the cargo trucks as long as you're driving backwards.
I didn't know that. That's fat.
It'll stay in the same spot if it doesn't have anything to push it, but yeah.
Physics. What are they? What does it even matter?
It's just arbitrary.
It's just arbitrary. Yeah, this is a human construct, really. Did you hear about there's the nothing
quick engage.
Good kill, actually. Great job there. Got some fire down on that communications array as well, so he's going to push up on the side. His teammates here with him, definitely they have somebody pinned down in there. Will whip out the gold MP5, just push straight up, get right up to the window and drop in. Looks like their target might have already bugged out or been brought down, though, so all done there.
I have no idea how he saw him coming across.
I don't know, man. Just good sight lines. I mean, we know he comes from the FGC scene, right? So his nothing to question about his reflexes there. And the vision obviously has to be quite good as well. I mean, he's a professional FGC player. Actually, we should say. It's not like he does it on the weekends. So
yeah, Destroyer
definitely gives him an advantage, I would say, in the reflex category. It's the things like, I guess, game knowledge and general kind of just control. Changing of control settings, I guess, would be the hardest thing coming across, but it definitely doesn't seem to be hampering him at all, because as we can see, his aim is absolutely laser-like. He'll show it to us right there, getting a couple of really good shots on the individual up on top of that building before kind of disengaging, going for the high ground here in the barracks, taking a couple of quick looks around. I think he must hear someone on sound cues is what he's looking for, but doesn't appear to be anyone in here, so they might have bugged out.
Yeah, and you kind of hear Destroyer on the mic a little bit. I don't know if you guys have comms going, but he's just saying that you're trying to be conscientious about not being too aggressive going to these buildings and getting bodied by a camper. I think they know that that's a pretty solid round so far.
Yeah, I mean,
keep that momentum up. That should be a good spot.
Yeah, we've seen that happen on stream once already, right? Sultan with the corner camp just getting bumped as soon as they stepped into a building and just finishing them off. So definitely something you have to be aware of. I mean, what is there a more common hallmark of the COD series, right? Like somebody hiding in a corner. Heartbeat sensor silenced AA12. That was those were the days. Modern Warfare 2.
Oh
God.
my goodness.
Yeah, just
game.
wait. Damn it.
I will say, just as an aside, you think about the two different Call of Duty series, and for me, Modern Warfare has maps that, or I guess the Modern Warfares in general, just have maps that feel like you can actually exist in them, that feel like a little more natural. Black Ops feel a little more structured. I like Black Ops maps, don't get me wrong, and actually Black Ops to some extent my favorite series, the two. But the maps feel a little bit more like I don't know, just boxier, structured, and you've got like more natural elements in Modern Warfare, which I really appreciate.
I think that's a fair assessment. I think it's always kind of been the difference in tone between them is that generally the Infinity Ward games lean towards a more hello folk guy. Oh boy, yeah, it's got caught peeking right there, taken right out. I was gonna say I think the tone generally tends to be that the Infinity Ward games are a little bit more kind of realistic feeling or more jumbly, whereas the ones coming out on the other side, Treyarch, usually feel a bit more over the top and, like you said, kind of a bit more contrived as well. That being said, I mean, obviously both games have ridiculously over the top things going on in them, but I think that's just kind of the general tenor of the series. Has always been that. I don't know, actually. I don't know which I prefer, the Infinity Ward or the Treyarch kind of Black Ops stuff.
Now, pros and cons, I suppose.
Yeah, it's actually an interesting thought. I think that I probably spent more time on the Treyarch ones than I did on the, actually in multiplayer. I think I probably spent more time on Black Ops than I did on Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
Maybe Modern Warfare 2, I'm not really sure. But I don't know.
I played a ton of Modern Warfare 2. But
yeah,
Black Ops 2.
Really Black Ops 2 also really solid. Black Ops 3 is so weirdly enough, Black Ops 3 has my favorite Call of Duty campaign out of all of them because it is so poorly written and it is so weird. It is just the strangest thing that has ever existed. It's like they gave a 12-year-old peyote and told him to write a Call of Duty script, and this was what came out. And I highly recommend, if you've never played the Black Ops 3 campaign, you play it just for kind of the surrealist value of what is going on in that game. But
it's really fascinating.
Circle closing in now, pushing up to the hospital. So I think they did have targets here, Sultan, earlier on. Whether or not those individuals are still there kind of doesn't look like they're taking too much of a worry about anybody coming up behind them. Moving up the stairs now that the rest of the team here is just gonna get up maybe to the roof and clear it out, or stop here at the third floor. Of course, take a check in through the cubicles.
Yeah, they're trying to be very methodical here. You heard the Destroyers team, the warning that they kind of said earlier, worried about going through these buildings, getting caught up by a camper. It looks like they're moving through the building pretty well. Now up to 11 kills, looking for a couple more. Looks like the games we've got, at least that we're looking at right now, have also restarted again with... actually, a team that started out pretty strongly, Jimbuk Savage Mooney, now down to 45 players left with no kills in this game, so hopefully they'll get going. But Destroyers crew look like they're doing all right. We've got a few teams coming up next, Chunky Monkeys and the Losers here in a little bit. So says Swift, probably after the end of this game. So we'll see if Destroyer and crew can finish it out strong. Just 30 members left.
Yeah, they've got 2 targets on the heartbeat sensor here. Somebody up on top of that hospital for sure. Those are targets in addition to what I think they picked up on the heartbeat sensor. Obviously, right, the downside of the heartbeat sensor does not show you the verticality. So if that is who they had on it, does make it a little bit more difficult. Kind of mounts up there, just taking those sight lines, trying to wait for somebody to peek. Really not, I guess, I would say, Sultan, the most advantageous gunfight, but they are right on the outside edge of the ring, so not a lot of worry from that sector.
Sure, I'm kind of curious as to why they try and take that fight, though, with such a clear disadvantage on the relative low ground to where they're trying to shoot up into. And the last thing you want to see is see them get pinched in kind of a weird middle ground situation. But they're going to go back inside and see if there's maybe another way to approach this situation. Still not a lot of teams left, so they can see if they can maybe find an angle up there. But you got to imagine the team up there on that high ground's in a very good spot. Oh, they're saying he might have jumped down, actually. Oh, he got pushed. I'm surprised that I didn't see that coming at all.
Oh, he pushed him. That could have gone really poorly there. Fortunate that foam guy, I think, was on the ball there, managed to get those knocks. Gonna push up and go in for the res here. Most immediately.
I can't tell if the woods yet.
Cover.
How the fuck is he in here?
Yeah, I don't think they are. I was just gonna say.
Nice.
Definitely
They
looks
just
like
jumped
they're.
off. I saw them jump off.
I'm covering.
Ooh, and that might have been a different team actually. So
Nice foam.
yeah, it looks like they still got the members on the high ground they're looking at. And there was another team that's trying to push them underneath. So now a few members left. Yeah, it must have been because there's just a couple teams left. We'll see though.
That was another team. That was another team.
I have an inkling, Sultan, that might have been who they picked up on that heartbeat monitor earlier on, and I think they kind of mistook it for the team that was up on the top of the hospital, and they were actually inside the building with them. The enemies were inside the building. The calls coming from inside that.
You might be right actually.
Yeah, and it looks like they're actually checking back on themselves as well. They'll pop out the heartbeat sensor, do a quick spot. Don't see anything, so I think they're getting a little bit more confident with the idea of moving position. Sure enough, going to pop the parachute, drop down in, and it looks like they might aggress onto this loadout drop right here, see if they can't catch somebody kind of out in the open looking for that. Interestingly enough, Destroyer actually pushing hard without his teammates, has set up. Oh! Interesting. He's got somebody there on the low ground. It looks like they tried to jump his teammates, and he downs them.
Outside, bottom of the building we were on.
Tell you what, the boy can shoot. There's no doubt about that.
One ran back in.
Yeah, that was impressive. He was from range too.
Down one.
That's got to be like 90 meters. I think. Yeah, this is the mark on his team right there.
Oh no, but
unfortunate though. Yeah, without the cover.
Gets hosed there.
No.
Well shot. Oh no, Destroyer. Oh, that's tragic actually. Very unfortunate. Kind of got jumped on the outside edge. Probably not surprising. Now he's gonna get styled on before they finish him off by a guy in a tracksuit.
The most devastating thing about that is they, the gulag closed maybe 45 seconds ago. Like it was not that long ago at all. So still a good run. You gotta sit there. Yeah. I mean, the other guys got the chance to gulag. Destroyer never did.
Yeah, all right. A lot of kills though, to be fair, in this match, and it kind of, to be honest, if Phone Guy can stay alive here, that ring is getting so small. I was gonna say he might have a chance to buy back in, but it's gonna be increasingly hard to do it. He could redeploy.
Yeah.
Destroyer here.
They are in a very good spot. I didn't realize that Destroyer had the 11 kills, but you've got Phone Guy here with 8 on screen. So I mean, this is still a really good round for them.
Oh, good shots there from Phone Guy. Tries to get in, but he's getting pinned from the other side, and that'll be the end of it. Still, they had a goodly amount of kills. Yeah. At the end of that, so nothing to scoff at, as we'll kind of pop back out here to our overall Twitch, and it looks like we're gonna make some changes here, get some teams in, some of our leaders right now in the match. We'll just switch over here for a second. So we'll keep Destroyer up there because the boys kind of have been cooking.
Actually, now the teams we've got in the 4 up here, top right is JK Gaming, representing the losers, who are the ones that came out to a very strong start, 29 kills, I believe, in their first game, and now sitting in 16th, having passed a couple of the lower Europe teams with a few of the other North American players here. And losers are 16th, 29th. They are the second place North American team right now, behind the Dream Team, edging them out at 31 kills. And 49 points. So yeah, losers right up there. We've got Walnuts as well. That's gonna be, I believe, the bottom right team in Shoddy stream. Yeah, Walnuts, they are 3 behind losers with 21 kills. We've also got Destroyer on again, and actually this last team I'm not sure about.
Chunky there in the bottom left.
The one that I said that we were going to anyway, or that Swift said we were going to. I probably should have inferred that. It's all right. These guys covered.
Patty and the boys there on the Chunky Monkey. Oh no, Patty's getting jumped. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I thought they dropped in for a second there, and then I realized he was holding the friggin' dragon off. I was like, I don't think he got that when he came down off the parachute. They're just in the practice mode. Scared there for a second. That was pretty.
Yeah, looks like everybody's still trying to get in their games, except for Walnuts, who are in right now. They've got looks like 2 kills currently on stream, 60 members left, about 30 or so teams.
Destroyer must be AFK because I don't know if we have the multi-joint shot, but he's in the practice round and he's just dropping and dying over and over again. It's actually
It's the best thing to
really
do.
dark. It's really dark.
I thought it automatically pulled the parachute unless you pull it and release it originally. Like I thought that it would automatically pull it for you if you didn't intervene.
Apparently not, because
that's
apparently you
hilarious.
turned the automatic display setting off. This poor video game character has just gotten pasted. Hit a tree at one point in time. Apparently, if you drop on top of the tree, that's it. Cards for you.
Ooh, half chance that Destroyer's team and then Chunky Monkeys here are dropping in the same game, maybe?
Well, they did
coming at the same time.
On in. I don't necessarily.
Nope. No. Flight path is different.
Yeah,
it looked like they were coming in simultaneously, so I thought maybe, but
you never know. It has been known to happen, especially in our Apex streams. We have seen it a couple of times. Looks like down there, Shoddy Streams, the Walnuts. Kind of in a bit of a dangerous situation. They're getting pinged, engaged in the parking lot here, getting some shots in, has to drop back down. Does have armor plates. Don't know if he feels comfortable using them.
There we go.
Well done.
Yeah, really patient play there from Shoddy Street. They got ambushed completely. Oh, right when you thought he was going to get away with it. It looked good, though. It looked good, though, for a second. Yeah, I know, right? As long as we're about to give him a little bit of praise. But still coming away with 19 kills, though. That's not bad at all. And it looks like something in the ballpark of, let's call it about 7,000 damage.
Yeah, it was not a bad game for them at all. I'm just going to swap back over here and have a look at Chunky Monkeys, one of the teams that's been doing really solid, dropping into kind of the secondary airfield here. Really making great use of the parachute, actually, to get a good land. Grab some armor plates, get a gun early on. Actually, is he going to leave the M91? No, he'll take it. He thought about it for a second, though. I don't know if he wanted to run with that necessarily. There's an Uzi over there, too, if he chooses to take it. Sure enough, he will. And keep on pushing. Guys, well, actually a really solid starting drop here for Sasquatch. Got a good number of weapons as well. Gonna actually swap out the Uzi there for the break action. Decides to stick with the submachine gun instead. Has the AK-47 early on. All solid, actually, to be honest. Great starting drop.
Yeah, ton of cash as well. Lots of work with. It's a very good start for them.
Wow.
Now all they need is the interactions.
Actually. Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Oh, and there's a first interaction seized.
Good couple of shots. Didn't quite get him down, but now they're getting in a little bit of a dangerous spot. Oh no. Somebody
don't go for that. I don't know if you need to go for that.
Oh god, he jumps in the plane.
Well, he didn't need to finish that kill on the ground. He knew the guy was around on the left-hand side. I'm kind of surprised he went for it. Like, get the knock on the dude hitting your guy, but I think they could have come back around. Looks like they may have gotten everybody, so no harm, no foul. And a couple quick pickups early. And again, nice start. Could have gotten a little dicey there, but seems like it's leveled out.
They are being hunted though right now. You can see the bounty pop up there on the left side of the screen, so they have to protect Sweaty. Get Sweaty for Sweaty. Keep anybody away from him. I don't know though. It always depends on whether the team's actually going to follow it up. They've got another target here. Going to throw some shots in at range. Breaks the armor, but does not get the kill. He's actually just going to aggress here as Sasquatch. No, he thought he was going to change his mind there for a half second. Might have just been moving the hitbox out of the way, if we're being honest. They've lost track of this guy. Oh!
Not the position you want to be in.
One of his teammates is
chasing the kill a little bit.
Well. Yeah, might have bit off just a little bit more than they can chew here. Toxic engaged in a bit of a gunfight. They've lost Sweaty, so somebody somewhere is happy that their bounty got poached. Still an enemy around here, though. They're not completely in the clear yet, Sultan.
Yeah, the problem they run into is they have no visibility because he was chasing one person, as Sasquatch was, but then the shots started coming from another direction. So now they're just trying to figure out exactly where the threats might be. Looks like they may just try and duck in out of there. Yeah, they didn't know where the threat was coming from. They're just going to get out of there, and I think that's probably the safe decision here. See if they can get a member back in with all the money they have. So no need to try and take altercations when you have a chance to get back to full strength.
Yeah, very true, honestly, and I think you're right. It's the correct decision, right? You just go, you buy back, you kind of reset. You still got time, still got a lot of, squads in the game, a lot of people to kill. Got to be a little careful about it. They are really repositioning too. They're going all the way over there. It looks like to the quarry to get to the buy station, or the dam, I should say.
No, but attracting some attention though. I don't know to what extent they're going to get actually followed, considering they're on a vehicle. They can make up some pretty good time pretty quickly, but you know what cost? We'll see if they can get over there and get their third member back in.
Yeah, they've ditched the truck right here. Sensible. Not sure what's going on there with Toxic. He's throwing the gas down to let it go for the revive. It's such a weird animation. Gotta moving one arm vigorously, holding out there. Going in
Gotta empty all the pockets of your cargo shorts.
Yeah, you know, cargo shorts are great. Or shorts just be like, oh, I'll hold your stuff, buddy. You worry about making friends. That's what cargo shorts are all about. So they got the respawn, so they're still pretty solid. I mean, still 5,900 in the bank if they want to invest in kill streaks, or if they just want to keep something, you know, kind of as a hazard coverage insurance, as it were, for somebody getting knocked. A little bit maybe rough here for Sweaty coming back in. Won't have the loot that I think he probably would have liked in this scenario. But
I was going to say Toxic. Toxic picks up $7,500, a couple more, and now it's 4,000 for Sweaty. So they must have found like the jackpot pretty easily. It looks like they'll be able to combine and probably get the loadout. So rich. They might be okay.
God, yeah, they could definitely.
I've never seen money come to people so easily.
Yeah, I don't really know what they're doing either to get that. They just kind of, like you said, they just kind of found the jackpot, won the COD lottery.
They've literally gone from collectively $5,000 to like $14,000.
Almost 3 times
in a matter of
kind of crazy.
In a matter of 60 seconds. Oh, they found a bunker, I guess.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. I guess we should have assumed that they had found something like that. The bunker's, of course, kind of, I think, a relatively new mechanic too, so it's a little. Ooh,
this one, I don't know if it was one of the ones that was hidden, but the I always wondered about that. The random doors throughout, and I was like, I don't know what this is. Glad they kind of incorporated those finally. Oh, maybe this is one of the full bunkers. Oh, you might be right.
It's an interesting mechanic. I think that they're kind of following in the footsteps of a number of other battle royale games, right? Like Apex did that as well. Kind of recently incorporated kind of caches, bunker things. Just kind of a different way or another objective to add to the field.
I think it's fascinating, honestly, the mixing and matching that these battle royales are pulling from each other, different just components and different mechanics and whatnot, and then how they diverge from each other. So I think it's kind of created a really interesting genre just as we've seen it develop.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it too, I think, is honestly just the eternal struggle in these games of trying to figure out how to get people to fight each other. And you can see, actually, speaking of fighting each other, they do have a target up on this high ground, just kind of parachuted in. But you have to give people an incentive to move closer outside of just the general forcing of the ring. And that's what a lot of these things serve as, right? The bounties, the bunkers, what have you, are just ways to force engagements without having to force people together. So it's an interesting series of kind of gameplay challenge, as it were, for a lot of these setups. Oh, hello. Good shot there.
With it's like teams without a collective kill amount. Just instead of the circle closing, they just purge all the teams below like 3 kills, then 7 kills, and also it's like you better get him or you're gonna die. But trying to take the interaction there, it gets completely bodied in the corner. That's what I'm trying to see.
Ouch.
But a chance for his teammates to come back in and clean up the rest, and it looks like they will and get the rest.
Yeah, that was a lot of pain right there. I felt that one. Oh no! Oh no! They rezzed me, immediately got knocked again. That is absolutely tragic. You can see someone rushing his teammate through the house. He's down. Sweaty comes in, tries to get the clear out. Sweaty hasn't won the gunfight yet. Sweaty gets one knock. Sweaty, you gotta finish him. Sweaty, save your buddy. I think Sweaty doesn't want to go for the res. I don't think he knows that the fight is over yet. Oh no, he'll res the other guy.
It looked like there was one more person around outside of the house that might be pushing them right now. It looks like there is still a little more damage. Still looking for it. They got the one res off, which but he went back down.
Oh no, Toxic's down.
Yeah, Sweaty's still in that spot.
Watch out of it. Toxic goes down. That's a significant amount of cash they're gonna lose track of here as well. Not a solid game for them though. 2-2-1, all they have in terms of kills so far. And as Patty gets thrown into the gulag there to fight for his life, we'll pan back out to our multi and get a quick look at how everybody's doing. You see actually Destroyer up there in the top left corner. Might not have caught it, but Destroyer was in the gulag, managed to fight his way back out. Just taking a look at what else we've got here. Unfortunately, we can't see the kill totals for AK Gaming. and the losers because he's got his camera over it. But he's kindly put him up on screen, so only 4 kills for him. Again, kind of a slow game there. And, 5 kills down here in the corner for Shoddy Streams and the Walnuts, and I think we'll just drop in and take a look at them. Low on the cash front, Sultan, but kind of good amount of body armor and good guns on set as they move towards a bounty contract here, by the looks of it.
Yeah, and having a good time. Again, they've got a few kills so far, just the 5 that are on stream, but a lot of people left in the game, 80 members, so they're just going to work through this. You're right, though, the cash not maybe exactly where they want to be, but it is still early.
Yeah, I'm looking. My headset's being a little choppy. This is not a good time for this.
I always like the hunt. This is one of my favorite parts, like seeing somebody just tracking them through something, and I don't know if that's the case in this particular situation, but I do appreciate that part of Warzone, just hunting after people. But they might be going to the buy station for some reason. I'm not sure if that's maybe not to get. It's not to get shields. They've got enough of those. Ooh, they see a member though. Oh, they are. You're right. They had the buy station ping. That's why I was kind of a little confused. But Swift, our producer, informed me they are in fact chasing that gigantic yellow circle on the minimap that I somehow missed. It's there.
They're going to get him too. they're hot on the heels there. That bounty. Actually going to take an opportunity to stand up. No, stretched.
Well, there's a little bit of, he mentioned a second ago in the comms that his headset was having an issue, so he was like, this is the worst possible time for this to happen. So trying to make sure that headset's in a good spot. A little technical difficulty, but back to it and get those bounties. Teammates already engaged though, and looks like there you go. Done and dusted. Oh, maybe not quite.
Yeah. Nope, teammate is down, so maybe a little bit of vengeance there for whoever they knock. Going to pop out the thermal, kind of scan the area. Got his teammate on view. Can't quite get their opponent there on view. Got them on blast. Nice job. Clears it out. Bloodthirsty savior. Everything else under the sun. Unfortunately, I think they will have to buy back in. I'm not sure that.
Yep.
They can pick up their boy.
Not the worst possible situation. It looks like.
No,
he might still be fighting. Yeah. Oh, they absolutely have the cash. He may be able to get back. I don't think he's gone through his gulag match yet.
Right,
nothing good in gulag though. Oh, there we go.
Now they're being funded. Teammate respawns from gulag, but unfortunately, those two things kind of happening right on the heels of one another. They'll have to try and fend off whatever the bounty is, and unfortunately, we can't see the level because of the webcam. But they'll have to try and fend off whatever the bounty is here over in the boneyard. Oh no, good. Okay, so they've got teammates back up. Looks like that was Killer who dropped back in. Take it still here as well.
Oh my god, yes, it works. That was so
pop
bad.
over. I think that was a loadout, so they've secured a couple of weapons for that. Actually gonna give up the RPG there. I guess he won't be kind of the designated rocket person, rocket man of this team, as it were. And they managed to avert their bounty as well. Looks like somebody bumped the team that was after them. So that's, nothing but positives here for these guys right now, Saul, to be honest.
Yeah, they're getting a little fortunate with some of these more difficult situations. Again, they able to get their member back in easily, and the loadout there put them in a better spot. Looking for somebody that's not quite on thermal now, taking damage from the far side. Again, you don't want to drop here, so hopefully they're able to take this engagement. But it's so difficult sniping from this range. You can't really get the shot off, especially since it's so hard to identify that opposing sniper with a ghost on.
Yeah, it's exactly the problem that he's having right now. Is he's struggling to get the sights on the ghost. He definitely saw them in that building over there. That was a good shot coming around the corner. Didn't get the headshot though. Did crack armor, or at least do a lot of damage to it. And it looks like they're actually just going to give up on sniping and push straight in.
I think that's the play. They're just so hard.
Yeah, honestly,
especially after he starts moving, he's gonna be able to get to a pretty good spot. You just saw him flash across the screen there. It's so hard to find.
Try to get the shot in. Might still be having a couple of problems with his headset as well. So the way he's kind of pulling at it. Good shots. Breaks the armor. Just really consistent. Again, 60 bullets in the magazine. There's just a ton of ammunition. And, well, I mean, you got to admire Mr. Super Troopers there. It was like being brave. Decided to pop the corner, but, man, well done.
Wow. Honestly, I didn't think he was gonna go for the res. I thought it was a bad spot because the first guy that he killed was not the one that he'd been tracking. So completely lost sight of the guy that he had on to begin with. Surprised her a little bit, gets to one, goes to res, finds a second. That was actually a really impressive little turn of play right there. I didn't think he'd get the second one. I thought he was about to get ambushed for sure. But showing us how it's done. That's why they're competing and we're commentating.
Exactly. I would have died.
Yep.
The thought of me getting 7 kills in a Warzone match is pretty impossible.
Optimistic
Rank that
for
up
sure.
there with, yeah, let's put it that way. Optimistic. That's a good way of looking at it.
What is that?
Despite the fact I should say I got these
but-
new Astro A10 headphones, and funny enough, the only ones that they had in stock when I bought them were the Modern Warfare ones. So they've got like the headshot, they're like green, and they've got the headshot logo on the side. And I don't quite know why, but it's okay. I'm not complaining.
The flashy though, I like it.
Oh
Now,
yeah,
right back into the action though, and again can't quite find the target in the flurry there, but
I got played up.
chance to get a few more kills perhaps. Gonna charge him, taking a little bit of pressure, gets the down, very nice. Looks for the second, finds the second. Oh my goodness.
I got the other guy. Double
Well
kill, let's go.
done.
I'm fucking
Like a laser sight popping between the two of them like that.
I need plates.
Well
Come on,
done
go.
indeed.
It's just clinical. Just clinical. The communication's been good. Glad his headset's working because that seems to be making a difference.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And he's up to 9 kills now, so a really solid game here from the boys at the losers. Oh no, sorry, the Walnuts. Doing quite well. UAV going up now. That's Bat dropping that in, so tons of coverage for them on that as well. They've got sights on somebody who was using the buy station there. Gonna push right up to the corner and mount. Take a look. Couldn't find anybody. Got him in the high window though. One of the teammates pinged them. Pops out the sniper there, so a bit of a brave choice, I guess. Still kind of close range. Fortunately though, it looks like one of the teammates there to completely destroy him gets knocked and turned though. And unfortunately, they're going to have to redeploy. That's bad luck, I will say.
That is bad luck because now they're not in a position where they've got the funds to do it as quickly as they were able to last time. So a little bit in a worse position now. But you did see the merciless pop up there. Pretty impressive
I'm gonna snipe that from the hills.
from Shoddy here.
I'm getting upstairs.
And Shotty does have 10
They still got a
kills.
little more pressure though.
A really solid game, yeah. It is unfortunate that their teammate went down, though. That is bad timing, to say the least.
I see them. They're on the roof.
I think they've got somebody else out there as well. Oh no, a couple of trucks
It's so annoying.
coming their
Some
way.
vehicles.
Goals in the AO.
Yeah, I see them, bro. They're on the roof, like here.
Actually get up on the high ground here. That ring will... They're right on the edge of that ring as well. We'll start closing eventually. They've got about a minute here where they can set up and try and do a little bit of hunting. But whether or not they can do enough hunting, Sultan, that's... Oh, and again...
Somebody else had the boundary too. So at least they're not kind of trying to... Not saying too focused on that because they are going to get pinched by the gas here in a little bit. So trying to clear out some of the real estate in front before they move. They might have enough for the... They have enough for the buyback now.
Yeah, they certainly do, and they should do it, I think, ASAP. It looks like they might try and back off from the ring just a little bit. There's a strategy here. I just don't know what it is.
Driving backwards was pretty impressive. Oh, but now in a position where they could be losing their second member. Oh, no.
It's over.
It's not over yet, though.
Don't pull.
Yeah, you're right. Theoretically, they could fight their way out of the gulag, but definitely sets them back a little bit there, and we'll pop back over, I think, to our wide angle here. It looks like the stream for Patty and the Chunky Monkeys might be down, so that's a bit unfortunate. Taking a look really quick at the losers here. Only 1 kill to their names, but it looks like early days in their game, so maybe we'll drop in and take a quick look at them. They've had a couple of really solid matches here so far, Sultan, but I think in the last maybe 20 or 30 minutes, they've tapered off just a little bit here.
Tapered off is the right word. They started out with a really strong approach. Now, as I'm looking at the leaderboard, now in 20th, it looks like 5th place among North American teams, where Warmongers out of nowhere skyrocketed up after a couple games, looking really good, and now the top member for North American teams, followed by Cookbook, another one we haven't quite seen yet. Revamp, who's been kind of in that top 4 for a little bit now, creeping up, and behind them. the losers dropping off a little bit. Same with Walnuts and Jim Bucks, Toto, some of the teams we've been able to watch. So dropping off a little bit, trying to get back in the hunt. Still a lot of time left to play. We've only gone through the kill race for an hour now, so still a lot of time to work with.
Sure. Tons more fun on the way here for the Warzone kill race. Looking pretty good though. It's always interesting to see these teams kind of coming out on the NA side, Salt, and then they have to work so hard just to get the initial catch up on the EU teams who play earlier in the day, of course. And then once they've caught up with the EU teams, well, then it becomes the race in between them, and that in and of itself is a whole nother competition after that. Looks like we'll be getting Warmongers here up on our multi-Twitch in a second, so we can take a look at them. I mean, with a name like Warmongers, is it any surprise, Sultan, that they're doing so well?
It is not one.
It comes in, I mean, it's in the name. That being said, okay, to be fair, I guess Warmonger doesn't imply that you're good at war. You just like it or you want it. Could be really terrible. I don't know.
I guess that's fair. That's very fair.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Oh, looks like they might have somebody here on site. They've got a bounty up as well. They kind of chucked in a grenade. He smacks the door into his teammate's face. That's unfortunate. You hate to see it. Oh, no! From the side, and then he repeats the favor as well.
I get a res.
Will have an opportunity here to get his teammate back up. ICDNA is trying to res him as quickly as he can. Very fortunate there, Sultan, that there wasn't anybody else pushing down that alley. He really only did a very brief check before he kind of went for the recovery there, as he'll pick up the territorial.
Obviously not a good scream.
Kind of the AUG, as it were.
Yeah, somewhat high risk, high reward. Now they've got their full team back, but still not. The fight's not quite over yet. Still looking for, I believe, a third member around here. And actually, they just lost a teammate to the Gulag, I want to say, and it may be a second here. They've got a bad position with the staircase, but able to get the down with solid teamwork and coordination. So we'll see if their DNA, I believe, can get back into the match.
I don't know. I didn't check.
Well, they've got the money for the buyback if they want it, right? But it's obviously also just an inconvenience, and it should be said, it's something we actually haven't really talked about, but the impact that having to come back in, be it from the Gulag or from the buyback, especially from the buyback, does really damage the tempo of the team in a kill race like this. You see it all the time in Apex 2 when they have to go in for the respawns. It just slows you down and makes it so much harder to get the kills. But it looks like ICDNA baby will be able to get back in the match coming out of the Gulag. So good for him.
Yeah, you're right though. Not having that advantage, you got to go through a whole nother phase of kind of pseudo loadout gathering. As long as if you don't have a loadout, you can purchase. So it ends up being so economically taxing and just like killing into your time, especially in a kill race like this, where you're trying to move as quickly as possible through the map, and any kind of those delays, and you've got teams in much better positions just passing you by. So it looks like they're looking for one more. Maybe we're trying to clear this house or something, and they're sure there's one more here. I know a second ago there was some shots that came up through the compass there, so I know there may be somebody in and around, but haven't found their target just yet, if he even exists.
The elusive invisible target.
Right?
You hate to see it. It's got the
it's
best
just the paranoia.
Yeah, it's got the best camouflage in the business. He's actually on the. He's like clinging to the ceiling.
Oh.
Oh no!
And he just got followed right up the building. Yep. Followed right up the building.
Another team, yeah. Oh no.
That is the most frustrating thing. You never want to like get shot from the area you were just looking at. That's just unlucky. So now to the Gulag here. For losers, and again, yeah, with a really strong start, and seems like they're struggling a little bit, but not completely done for.
Well, we can pop back out, I guess, to our multi-Twitch here. Gets an opportunity to look at, our setup here. We've switched Warmongers back in, so we can go have a quick look at how they're doing down in the bottom left corner there. 2 kills to their name, still 95 squads in their game, so early days yet for the boys there at the Warmongers. Gonna be running around this factory, getting a couple of, just picking up some armor plates, getting some loot there. Still got a low actually on his armor plate economy, which is a bit unfortunate. Looks like they're doing a scavenger contract as well. So stopping power rounds, thinks about it for a second, doesn't think he wants those, so he'll just carry on his merry way.
Here's my money, Sam. Right here, Sam, my money.
Oh, All I hear is our producer saying why. I don't necessarily know why. Why?
Really upset about not taking those stopping power rounds.
Yeah, you're really one of those stopping power rounds. My God. I don't know why you didn't take them. Actually, to be honest, I kind of, whatever. Like, there's just, I'm sure there's a strategy. Far be it from me to say one way or another.
Back here. The one where we kill the people at, it's closer to everything.
I like his.
I mean, I have to say, I don't really pick up stopping power rounds. Maybe just because he's already got, doesn't that replace your dead silence? Right? Like, I generally prefer dead silence, personally, but, personal preference, I suppose. Unless, oh yeah, no, he's pretty fair. Maybe that's the only thing, because again, like, I don't really pick up stopping power rounds because usually I've got something else there instead. Hi, hello, chat.
That's crazy, dog.
Legend. Yeah, still off to a pretty modest start. 86 members left here for Warmongers. I really want to see them kind of get to the pace that they've shown, at least via the leaderboard. See if they can get into a couple of these interactions and start dropping some other teams. Just the 2 kills on screen here so far, but we'll see what happens.
They are rocking some cool outfits, though. All credit to them.
Too true. Yeah, too true.
The sneaks and the bowling jacket there. I don't really know how I would describe that jacket. Love it. One guy's got a full
I think
ghillie
bowling
suit.
jacket's accurate.
Yeah. All ready
That's
for
right.
a night on the town. All
Well,
ghillied
you've also
up.
got that one with the tracksuit.
Yeah. Gotta have the tracksuit, man. That's just perfect course. Not sure if they're on not sure what contract they're after, or if that's just kind of like a general contract mark.
I think it's just the direction they're headed. They're like, this is where we're going.
I thought that was a contract marker. So you can tell I was tired today. Oh, all right, I'm making some choices there. Just gonna stick with it's kind of hard to turn away, honestly, the 60 rounds. Firepower is the kind of thing that you just don't give up. Loadout drop in there over far to the kind of north of where they are right now. Pops the heartbeat sensor to do a quick check. Doesn't see anything. Sure will carry on his way. Yeah, it's been a really quiet amount of time here for him, Sultan. It's kind of the exact opposite thing of what they want to have happen, truth be told.
Kind of the opposite of what we expected too, obviously with the position of the board, but now with the bounty. Might be in a much better position here, Corbec.
Yeah, it's kind of slow down. I think that really doesn't help them at all. But yeah, with the bounty, gives them an opportunity. Oh my God! Hello.
Bang. There it is. That's what the dead silence is for. Pop that zip right down the hallway and laser to the face. That dude had absolutely no idea. Now the kills maybe starting flowing as I know there's another team here.
Yeah,
I don't know what just happened with that truck. Somebody got exploded though.
Truck blows up. They complete their contract, so they got the kills, or they got the bounty. Really well done there by the whole crew. Actually, C's is, I think, maybe the one who got the final confirmation. Out comes the MP7 here as they'll just push up and check around a little bit, see if they can find anything else. So a brief flurry of action there, but is it enough, I guess, for them to continue on? Look at that cash that Sizz has, though. 2,800 or 2,800. Oh my God, I can't do numbers.
Oh, it might have another team here because they're moving towards the bounty. It looks like the bounty they're going towards might also be a recon beacon. So they're either going to get a couple kills here via 2 teams, or it's just one person that is broadcasting their location as explicitly as they possibly could be.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
One recon beacon here. Oh no, just not in time to see his teammate. That's so unfortunate. Thick will have to respawn in, I guess, from the gulag, hopefully, if he can do it. Now though, kind of split off. He had to circle back there to get Thick, and Woods maybe in a bit of danger here. Looks like they might have some sort of might have called in something. I don't know if it was a UAV. You can see the pulse coming out there, looking around him. He's getting shot from behind now too. There's nowhere for him to go. He just gets lasered down, and that could be curtains there, because there's no way Thick or I should say Sizz or Thick are going to be able to come back and save him, because it looks like Thick might have saved him on the gulag. Rushing quickly right now, just trying to get into cover, get away from whoever's hunting him, but he's bleeding out fast. Sizz is 109 meters away, and there he is. He's down. That's unfortunate.
It looked like they just got the buy-in real quick. And it was going to be a bit of an advantage. It looks like Thick is coming back in, and the advantage when you're dropping in like that is you do have a little bit of recon, aerial recon you can give to your members who are still there. So I like they tried to get him back in quickly, though I guess it might have been just a gulag. Either way, they've got Thick back. Lost another teammate. It's Skazden, but I think it looks like Live's going to be able to come back in. So really, it's not the worst possible situation. It's not great, but they've got 2 members up still. They've got the dollars to get their 3rd member back in the event he's not able to fight through the gulag. So they're not. Well, I mean, now they're also being hunted. So it's not a great situation, but it's not a terrible situation.
Yeah, pop back out here. I guess the multi-twitch for a second, see how our other teams are doing. Destroyer sitting on 7 kills right now, up there in the top corner. 76 players left in his match, make that 75, 34 squads in game. Trophy system in the pocket if he chooses to use it. It looks like the folks there from the losers might have just gotten knocked out of their match in 29th place with 10 kills between them, so not the worst game. Of course, we were focused there on Warmongers, who have dropped back in, had kind of a rough moment, have sort of managed to right the ship, at least just temporarily. I think they might have lost yet another teammate, though, in the midst of that. It does look like Sizz is back on the redeploy burner now with no gulag, maybe to save him. And then meanwhile, Shoddy Streams, looks like they might have just dropped in, going for an early engage. We'll pop back over here and just take a look at Shoddy here as he pushes onto some targets. You can see he's just getting some pistol shots in. They do get their 2nd kill there of the match, so off to a decent start without actually having really done much looting or anything like that. Goes and grabs the LMG to start us here. Funny little use of the deploy parachute for that short distance. I love it. Oh!
A lot of damage coming through.
Oh no! I'm not entirely
sure
what happened there, but I kind of feel like they might have knocked themselves when they fired that RPG. I don't know who fired the RPG. I honestly think that Hunter Killer fired that RPG point blank and knocked himself. And then I think
that might have been it.
Down. Yeah, I think he just point blanked him with the RPG, and very fortunately, Shoddy was behind him, so Hunter Killer's squishy body took the majority of the blast.
Yeah, you might be exactly right. At first, it looked to me like there was 2 in the room, and then there was like another guy that shot it and they killed him. But it might have just been a bit of an error there. But hopefully they got everybody back where they need to be. Looking at the leaderboard, we got a few more changes there at the top. 3 big uglies now taking the lead for North American teams with just the slightest of margin of space between them and Warmongers. And X301, who is actually the sponsor for our Apex Legends. If you're into Apex a little bit more so as your Battle Royale cup of tea. We've got an Apex Legends tournament tomorrow. 301's going to be sponsoring that. So a little bit of love here. Give them some love tomorrow. And then Walnuts rounding out the top 4. So still doing well enough here. And yeah, it could have gone south there, but looks like Shoddy's cleaned it up for Walnuts.
That was smooth. That was a good pitch. I like that. Right there. Much credit to you on that one. That was a good one. Kind of hanging out in the warehouse right now, and honestly, this kind of warehouse. Hello, teammates or enemies everywhere, I should say. Now he knows why his teammate was booking it back. The warehouse is such a dangerous place to play, Sultan, because there's so many angles. So many opportunities for somebody to just kind of pop around the corner and bump you, which is exactly what happened right there. Looks like both teammates are down. This is a very dangerous situation here for Shoddy. He's going to have to play his mind out if he wants to get his teammate back up. He does get one of them back in, but the enemies are still there, so they have not left this warehouse area.
You're exactly right. Dangerous situation. So many pockets, so many crevices. And just trying to look for that. The additional, they did lose a second rest. The other member dropped their Corbec. You're right.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams do push up into the warehouse or the superstore, whatever you want to call it, with the express intent of trying to just get some kills because it is a popular area for people to traverse through, but it's just so dangerous. And again, we see the illustration of it right there. Literally nothing Shoddy can do, caught from one of those off angles and just burned out. And, you know, curtains for him and the team really not racking up a lot of kills in this round. Sultan, as we'll flip back over to the multi-twitch. We are, I should say, approaching our first break of the evening. That will be at the bottom of the hour. So in about 15 minutes, we'll take a quick break. Teams will have time to kind of recap their scores, get something to drink, whatever they need to do in between matches. And then we'll get started again. Good gulag win there for Shoddy. He will get back in, but still a rough start for them. Taking an overall look here at the multi-twitch, Warmongers has just dropped into their game. Not a ton of body, or no, they're still in that game, I should say. 32 teams
still 5
left,
kills, though.
5 kills. Yeah, still 5 kills. We don't know how much work his teammates have been putting in, but everybody kind of sitting at a very low cash amount too, so I have a feeling it may have been a bit rough, all things considered. Popping back over there, taking a look at Destroyer. In his match, 15 left. Only 2 kills for Destroyer. So actually kind of a... Oh, he's spectating Foam Guy, so Destroyer actually out of it. So I was going to say it's a bit of a slow match, really, for Destroyer, all things considered. Good destruction of technology there by Foam Guy as they kind of try and push up the outside edge of this building. Looking for a target. Find him. Great little angle there. Unfortunately, not enough to bring him down. Jumps the gap, pushes up. RPG comes out, whistles right by his head, and they'll just kind of clean up everybody who's left.
We're getting so
Well
many
done.
points right now. Thank you, Jesus. What time is it? 8:17, guys.
Popping back out, taking a wide peek again. Of course, this is also getting to the time now where teams kind of realize they are queuing into their last game, Sultan, before the break. If they don't get it in by a certain amount of time or a certain reporting time, they will not have their score counted. So it's something that they, you know, significantly have to take into account here as they play out these last ones. And it does put a bit of pressure on to finish these matches up.
Yeah, it's going to start getting a little dicey. The end of the first half here is coming up at 8:25 Eastern. You got a grace period of 5 minutes after that, and then the second half starts at 8:35. So teams looking to get that first half game done, get it locked in, and get ready to queuing up as we approach this break. So still looking for it, see what they can do here. Yeah, looks like a few have backed out. It's still Destroyer and crew here, 9 kills with 37 members left. I'm believing 48 members. Yeah, so a lot to go here. They've got a lot of room to work with and a lot of kills under the belt so far. Like you said, with losers who actually right in the middle of an altercation though. Oh, actually, I'm not sure who we have up right now. It's Totals Killers and like Destroyer's group.
I think second phase we're gonna dominate.
It's interesting to see how just moving through these teams with such solid momentum early on, and then not able to rekindle the magic of maybe an early match, and then the standings are just all over the place. So I think the second half is going to be a little bit clearer as far as which teams start to emerge. Like I said, the bottom portions of the Europe leaderboard dropping below now. You got quite a few of those kind of dribbling towards the bottom as the North American teams now getting their games in, and the highest North American teams now revamped just past 3 Big Uglies, still in it tight with Warmongers though. They're all just within 10 points of each other, so should be yeah, just about 7-10 points. Walnut's right in the mix as well, 301 right behind them, so still a lot to play for just as we close out this first half. If you're unfamiliar, the leaderboard can be found on consolegamingleague.com/COD-Warzone. There actually might be oh, there you go, exclamation website in the chat. We'll send you that link. And if Swift, I'm about to do, I know Swift's about to do it. That's the kind of thing Swift will knock out, but he's rushing it back there in production. So we'll see if I can get it going for you. Too late, Swift. I see you trying to be quick. Yeah, just use that, navigate over to Modern Warfare. You can get all the information. Again, Apex over there as well if you want to check out the stream tomorrow. But now in a dodgy spot, Destroyer trying to put down a couple, and Dutch just completely melting these kids. What are you doing? It looked for a second he was going to be in a bad spot. Had, I think, a sniper out at the worst possible time. Still able to switch and get it. And then the old, switcheroo.
Oh, no.
I hate to see it.
Pablo
I hate to see it.
Strikes again. From the high ground too. Nasty angle there by Pablo.
20 kills though, right in time for the cutoff.
Yeah, solid kill game for what most likely Sultan will be their last match. You know, the only person they have left alive now is Foam Guy. Gotta have to buy the redeploy in for both teams. I guess they could try and start a game just under the radar and see if they could catch anything up, but I don't know. We'll see if they take that dive.
Oh, they'll take one additional kill though.
Well
I think
done,
they're at
Corbec.
21 now, right?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, this has actually been a very solid match for them, all things considered. Destroyer kind of doing, I think, the majority of the heavy lifting, but certainly the rest of the team contributing their fair share as well. As we see kind of back in that so deadly warehouse. Wow, that's a lot of loot, my lord.
Couple more on radar. I think it was before that decoy came out, or I know they just did the oh, we got a UAV up, that's what it is.
Popping back over to the multi here, taking a quick look down with Shoddy Streams and the boys. Seeing what they have in store for us right now. So 2 teammates in the gulag. Shoddy kind of on his own here, reloading the LMG, getting ready for the the fight or die. Looks like one teammate will come back in for the gulag. That'll be Killer, who will drop back in. And Shoddy really a big fan of these infrared scopes. I think this is the second time that I've seen him using one. Last time it was on a sniper rifle, if I remember correctly, or maybe that was Warmongers.
Yep.
I never find the friggin' infrared scopes, so I don't get to use them. Anything that makes it easier to see the people I'm trying to take out. TBH.
Yeah, looks like Destroyer's team did just wrap up there. They did finish with, looks like 22 kills, so a little bit extra there. A little icing on the cake. It's nice. Still got Shoddy over here trying to finish out their last match. Just 3 more minutes or so. Still looking for a few more kills. Not a lot working with right now, but they got a couple people on target, or on oh, there's one down. On the minimap, rather. See if they can catch a couple right as we fly right under the radar.
Unfortunately, they've already lost a teammate who just dropped in down here on this bottom right side. Shoddy Streams kind of just in a progressively worse and worse situation. He's rezzed both of his teammates back in, only for one of them to be shot out of the sky. That'd be Take It, who's down already. Now he's in a dangerous position, burns 2 armor plates right there, gets another one in, has to kind of reposition here. He's got this long range engage. They'll lose both the teammates again. Really have not at all, Sultan, been able to reestablish themselves over here in the military base. As it were, just constantly getting pushed, and now he does not have the resources or the opportunity of the gulag to get his teammates back in. Takes a couple of shots, ducks into cover, and there's the press, and that'll be the end of that particular run for them.
I'm pretty upset about.
Yeah, it was like a 1 step forward, 1 step back. They kept trying to get something going, but teammates dropping left to right and couldn't quite finish out the kill. Now in the gulag, but again, as the first half comes to a close, just the 2 kills there for Walnuts. A pretty entertaining first half, though. I will give you that. You know, it's been pretty fascinating. I like what the teams have done so far.
Looks like the only team we still kind of have active, if we don't count Shoddy Streams here in the gulag, we've got the losers up there in the top right corner. They're still in it. JK Gaming Guy, still in it with one teammate at least. Him and Thwomp. Still fighting it out over here, just outside the quarry.
No kills though.
No
still
kills
for damage though, I'm
to their
assuming.
name.
So
yeah, 98 people left in their game. So actually, Sultan, they only have about 6 minutes left in this one. They're going to have to make, I think, eventually, or 1 minute left. I'm sorry, before the reporting deadline. So they're gonna have to make some educated calls here if they want to just drop out of this one. I kind of assume that this might just be a practice round that they've dropped into. I actually don't know whether that's I don't think that's against the rules, but you certainly couldn't report this game. And yeah, if they don't report within a minute, this is a complete wash. It's so funny to me to see them running around with the World War II guns. So used to seeing those in a very different context, I guess. It's like a battlefield or something. But yeah, they are the last team in it. Flawless technique. 50 caliber sniper there. And though, right? I mean, running out of time. Look, so this game pretty much coming to its conclusion, whether we like it or not. Here they will, I assume, not be reporting this one, considering that they're gonna just keep playing it out. Timeline, our time limit, I think, has almost passed here, Sultan. So pretty much done.
Yeah, so I think what we'll do, we'll see if they're going to finish this out or not. Like I said, since we've already hit the grace period limit, we're not going to get a chance for them to report these scores, and assuming they already have in their previous game. So for the time being, we're just going to go to a quick intermission, let the teams kind of regroup. Looks like they're taking a quick break, and they'll get back into their games, and we'll have the second half for you for the CGL Warzone tournament. And, we'll see you here in just a second.
Really quickly before we cut to intermission, sorry, I just wanted to get this in there before we do. Everybody should know that the Call of Duty endowment, which is COD for Vets, is proudly doing over the Memorial Day weekend a fearless package created in partnership with Medal of Honor recipient Captain Florent Groberg. For $10 you get a 10-item pack. It includes an operator skin, assault rifle blueprint, some camo, emblems, tags, the whole deal. You can find that on their Twitch, and 100% of Activision's net proceeds from that will go back to vets in order to help them, unemployed vets, to help them during this time. Definitely something to check out. I think it'll be live until it hits 3 million in donations, at which point in time they'll be stopping it. But just a good philanthropic endeavor for you to embrace there if you're into the game as well. Anyway, like Sultan said, thank you so much for watching, and we'll be right back after the break with more Call of Duty Warzone action. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Console Gaming League Call of Duty Warzone Kill Race Tournament here on your Memorial Day weekend. I am Corbec, joined in studio by Sultan. It's my co-caster and the wonderful Swift handling production. Starting off the second half here, Sultan, we've seen some good gameplay for the first half, but we've got some new teams. We kind of cropped from the top of the leaderboard, and we're going to get a bit of a different view here.
Yeah, these teams in the first half started showing their true colors a little bit. We were kind of looking at Warmongers, who's actually they'll be in the bottom left once we get the 4 up. But the first half has gone really well so far. Looking at the leaderboard, you're right. These are the teams that are 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th so far in the current running leaderboard, while they are the top 4 teams in North America still as we go into the second half. And a very good shout to kind of get into those top spots. You've got KRC for Europe with 274 points. They might be at an unattainable level, but we've still got about an hour and a half left to go in the tournament, so a lot of time left to play for these teams to show us something. We saw Warmongers, one of the teams, off to a pretty bright start, now sitting in 9th. So opportunity, I'm excited to see what the teams have for us as we get into the big board here. Just to give you an introduction to each of the teams we'll be going through for the first little portion here. USC Infinite on the top left is going to be Revamp. They're sitting in 10th place, 3rd in North America. Top right is going to be Oculus, representing, let's see, I believe that is, I just had 3 Big Uglies, and then Warmongers that we've seen before, Barbecue there on the bottom left, and then your bottom right is going to be Liquids, which is representing Cookbook. So I'm pretty excited for the second half to kick off. These are the top tier teams so far, and we'll see. Obviously we'll bring in other members if they start climbing up a little bit, but this first little interaction should be fun.
Yeah, certainly, and we can see most of the teams getting in on the action already. Revamp up there on the top corner, literally just dropping into their first game. One squad looks like that's Warmongers, might already be in the gulag here. Bit unfortunate for them to start off that way. I'm gonna hone in for just a second, I think, on Revamp, see how they're doing. They have been dropping a ton here. I think they played, our Swift said, 7 games so far in the first half, so really kind of be interesting to see the strategy that they're running, Sultan, in terms of how they're racking up their points and kills, because they're definitely not playing for placement in any sense of the word. And unfortunately, they've just lost a teammate to the gulag right here out the gate. So that, 2 teammates to the gulag actually right out the gate. So that's a rough start.
Yeah, a bit of a poor start, but you kind of already see the strategy that maybe is kind of getting them the kills that they're getting. They do spread out a little bit and try and divide and conquer, so to speak. Now coming back in to try and wrap it up. See if Infinite can be the hero here. Does get the first down. That could still be a threat. There he is, seen and downed immediately. No trouble there. And yeah, that might have been the squad. I didn't see the squad wipe come up, so I don't know if he's gotten all of them, but at least enough cash to get one of his team members back here in a little bit if they're not able to win their gulag matches.
Yeah, it's an interesting
strategy. And there's one, so.
Nice, good kill. Good little drop there as well.
Clinical.
Drop shot. Yeah.
Very nice.
I do wonder, Sultan, if you're right, and you say that the way that they kind of split, maybe on the drop, if that's just the way that they generate, like you said, all those kills. I guess if you trust your teammates enough. Oh, he's got another one on scopes there. Gets a couple of shots in on him. Doesn't quite finish him off. Wraps back around. Takes a little bit of fire up on the backside. Has to kind of play very carefully here. Good little jump out. Excellent down again. That laser-like accuracy really coming on display there. Just mastery of the gun control in this game. And looks like he's still got one more threat in the warehouse with him, though. That was not the target I think he aggressed on initially, and sure enough, his teammate gets bumped right there on the outside edge. He'll rotate back around, looking for whoever brought him down. He does have his teammate's ping to play off. Sees sights, gets a couple of shots in. Opponent drops behind the truck, throws the door, grenade.
Oh my goodness!
No, he's stuck him and downed him, but he's down.
Oh my god!
Oh, his teammate's there. Woo! What a play!
What a fantastic play. Yeah, kind of got a little lucky there. I was surprised, honestly, that we didn't see him pause to put some shields back in. He had 2 shield plates after that initial kind of interaction. And, that 4th kill, you don't hit every single one of those bullets. You don't get that kill. Already at a bit of a disadvantage, especially having been damaged previously, but able to get that one in kind of a wacky play. But they come out of it relatively unscathed with enough dollars to get their member back. So off to a really good start here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think you're right. It was close hairs, right? Maybe a little bit of questionable decision making there as well. Popping out and throwing the sticky grenade like that is a bold play, but who dares wins, as they say. So I guess he'll get this one. And it looks like they might have somebody over here at the edge of the airport near the car dealership. I think they saw somebody because shots did go out. I don't know though. No, it looks like it's slowed down. Oh nope, there they are.
Yep.
Patience rewarded. Got him trapped behind the bar. There comes the teammate just to finish him off.
Well, and this is the kind of situation you're coming back from the half, and now you've got 6 kills already, and that's just one member of your team. You've got to be licking your lips. The interactions they keep coming and they don't stop coming.
Yeah, this has been a great start for them.
Climb through the board.
Admittedly, it's been really good. Despite that kind of initial hiccup and a couple of knocks, I mean, you can't argue with the 6 kills. His teammate just picked up at least 1. I'm sure they have more in the bank. Decent loot and decent enough cash flow, at least for Infinity here. That being said, they did just buy one of their teammates back in, so a little bit of a dump there for Calamity, but the loadout drop incoming now should be able to equip them relatively well. They're just playing a little scattered here, waiting for it to drop in. And it's interesting. I do wonder, if they started out kind of in that spread out formation, anticipating a situation like this. I guess if you have enough confidence, right, Sultan, in your ability to get the picks, you can play in that kind of very standoffish style and end up sort of coalescing together.
Certainly a high risk, high reward. I have seen teams do that where they spread out and kind of take over a large swath of land, both just to identify maybe potential people in the area that are playing a little bit more quietly, because obviously you cover more land, more opportunity, you run into somebody, and then we'll try to converge on separate points. But it also allows you, if you see somebody in the house, to already be set up to come in and kind of pinch around them. So they're going to do the airstrike here, potentially another group coming through already. So again, they just keep getting really good chances. Didn't quite get the knockdown there though, so already alerted to the presence, but he's just following now. Our chance to get 7 kills was still almost 100 members left in. Breaks a shield, goes in C4, can't quite get it, wants to keep pushing down the stairwell though. And now Corbec should matter, can he get this second knock? Is the teammate coming?
Knows exactly where he is because he pops out and starts firing right away. Got him behind the box. Great use of the heartbeat sensor.
Just took a second.
Yeah, there's more teams.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of feel for the guy who was chasing down there, though. I will say, I think maybe some bad decision making on that particular individual's part, and then somebody drops out of the. Oh no, there's teammates here as well. He's got knocked here, so he'll need his teammates to circle back. They will get the revive there. They drop somebody else. Good save by the rest of the team to keep him back in the action, because that was potentially a bad situation. But I was going to say, you feel for his opponent a bit because he didn't really have a lot of choice. As we saw there, his teammates had done a really good job of circling back around Calamity and the crew to kind of get in on that press. They were very much hunting that poor soul, all things considered, as they engaged in another bit of shooty here in the airport. Somebody up on the top deck there last time they saw them. Can't quite finish it out. The heartbeat sensor quick check doesn't detect anything though, so I do kind of wonder if whatever their opponents were here, Sultan, have just bugged out.
Yeah, quite possible. Still looking for the hunt though, but again, off to a really good start. You've got 8 kills on stream. Looking for an additional one, exactly what you want to see.
81 people still in this lobby as well, so I mean, plenty of opportunity, I guess, for them to get more damage in. 36 squads still now fully up on the top deck looking. I'm gonna kind of drop down here into these tents, go for the buy station. Yeah, picks up the UAV, calls it in almost immediately. Very smart. Sees everything that he needs to see.
Go to store.
Yeah, and I like the aggression. Also, if you can hear the comms, like it's just been really tight from the whole team. They're communicating well, and it's showing. I think that maybe they did drop a little more separately, but you see them moving more as a unit. Calamity's lagging back a little bit there now as I say that, but for the most part, they've been pretty tight, and that's what allowed them to come away with the kills in that last interaction. Even though they got knocked a couple times, so it's been a pretty solid group play so far. Now they're hunting yet another team. We'll see if they can get these kills.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic, and I mean, again, I think that the tight comms and everything speaks to their ability to do those kind of split drops. It requires kind of a certain level of competency and professionalism, as it were, to pull them off. I mean, one of our most successful kind of kill race teams in Apex in our early days, 2 individuals would just drop as a duo, and then one guy would drop on his own and basically just see how many people he could kill before he got brought down, and it worked because the mechanical skill were there. Great ambush out the window of the airport. The teammate there rotating back to try and get his buddy, but it's too little too late. Finishes him off with the long shot, and it does have that other target. You see shots going up on the top deck there, but that would be great, just sort of backup covering fire there from I think it was Calamity who was up on the high ground, now looking down, trying to see if they can get anything. And it looks like that brief burst of action is over. The loadout drop there might have been what keyed him off. Drops the parachute. Base jumping at its finest in Warzone. I'm gonna be honest with you, Sultan, I don't know if that would work.
I don't think it would either. Yeah, I doubt it.
I'm not sure the parachute would stop that fall. I'm not sure that's how parachutes work.
60, 80 feet, certainly not.
Yeah, it seems a bit bit fanciful, but then again, the man's running around a destroyed airport with poison gas clouds coming in, so we'll give him that one. We'll give him the parachute physics.
Suspend reality for just a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, well, suspend it. Yeah, we did see somebody just driving a car around with a trophy system on the hood earlier, so.
That I feel is probably doable. You could probably do that.
Bolt it on, I guess. I don't know if it would work if it was moving. It's not a question I can answer, but maybe there's somebody out there.
I will say, revamp on the whole, it speaks volumes about how they've been able to stay towards the top of the table. A lot of the teams, good games, bad games, but revamp has actually been pretty consistently at the top of the North American portion since the tournament started. You can really see why. They're just making it look easy right now, moving very fluidly through the region. Looks like they're just, while they're in the circle, just more or less patrolling this airport area, knowing that teams will just naturally kind of descend here, and it seems to be working out well for them.
Yeah, I think Saul is one of the interesting things about the kill race format. I know some people just don't like it, which is totally justifiable, but consistency is a huge portion of this. Some teams just get very swingy, and they'll have these giant games where they boom out with like 20 something kills. They look amazing, and then the next game they hot drop in and they're just immediately murked, and it's right back to the lobby. But if you can kind of get out there and just pound these games where you're consistently getting around the same amount of kills over and over again, in the long run it is what generally helps people out, right? Because the boom and bust cycle is just not as dependable. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Oh no, are they bombing somebody with the drone?
Yeah, they're trying to see if they can get the C4 on top of the drone, which would be pretty amazing.
Come on, you boys can do this. Oh no, they gave up on it.
I want to see it happen.
I would have been amazing. A little sad that we're not going to get to see that in action. That's quite clever. I've not actually seen that before. I've seen the C4 on the ATV, the C4 on the car. That's a classic one, but I've never actually seen the C4 on a drone. Hello.
Ooh, good look. Very good look in the corner. I love the heads up play there from Infinite. Just to see what the threat was.
buy UAV, unless you guys want to buy self-res.
The drone.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's still well played. I think it was a bounty completion as well there. Just funny.
Drop money,
I feel
yeah.
bad for that particular gentleman, to be honest. Like I feel every bit of that kill right there. That would totally be me hiding in a corner as just 3 Apex friggin' like alpha wolf players of Warzone closed out on me.
Just like descend on you.
Yeah, they've
And
got
they got 2
multiple
more on the
targets
sides
on
as well.
ping here. This airport, Sultan, has been a gold mine for them in the context of this kill race. They have just been solidly engaged pretty much this entire time, and they'll pop another UAV again, and I guarantee you their opponents, yep, right there, no idea that they were there at all. Drops a couple of good shots in, but that's a lot of firepower thrown down range right there.
Oh, now in trouble.
You guys got it.
Unfortunately, we won't get to see how that one plays out because he gets sent to the gulag. And we'll pop back over to our multi-twitch here and take a look, though. I will say he did immediately get into his gulag match, so best of luck to him.
Nobody has an armor section, though.
Chance want to come back in. We'll keep an eye out for a second.
He's out.
Did you get him?
No, he's out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, unfortunate. But, I mean, his teammates can, of course, buy him back in eventually. We'll take a look here at Oculus and the 3 Big Uglies, one of our other teams who have been doing really well. Oculus currently in a hallway, just pinged with a heartbeat sensor there. Knows there's somebody hiding around this corner from him. Checks the corner, gets the kill. Well done. Play to make any Rainbow Six player proud right there, playing those corner camps. Well done. Pops the new mag in, as you would expect. He has both of his teammates down here, so that kind of added a bit of an extra element of risk there. Oculus, Moors, Ruru, both Moors and Ruru taken out earlier in this match. We didn't see it on stream, but I don't think either of them qualified back into the gulag either. So they're still out. Bit of pressure here on Oculus to get both of those back in.
Says Moore's there with 5 kills. You've got 2,300 damage. You got to assume Oculus with 1,300 maybe in change damage. Want to say 2-3 kills if the damage is relatively proportionate. So, you know, we'll give maybe 7 or 8 kills so far. Big Uglies trying to round this out again. They are the highest, at least at the beginning of halftime, they were the highest rated North American team, sitting in 8th place overall. So in a very good spot and very close to creeping up on the global top 4. So really good chance here. And hopefully it kind of works out for them. Looks like we're just waiting to see if they can. We're looking at some of these other ones, though. We got here.
I like that. That's a good one. Makes it sound really cool.
Well, it's double meaning almost, right? Global tournament wise, but also
internationally, so
like a globe.
Like a globe. Hops on the ATV here. Oh, my apologies. I thought we were spectating Oculus. We're actually spectating Ruru. Oculus must be in the gulag. I see that now. Looks like Shores or Morse has gotten back in, so they've got teammates in. They don't have enough money to redeploy Oculus, though, and that is a bit unfortunate. You can kind of see just Ruru sweeping building to building here, just trying to get some loot, maybe try and get some cash on hand. Try and get their teammate back in. Now, not quite there yet. 3,600 and 300 respectively. Soon, though, soon. They're not getting any. Again, this is another, like we were saying, this is another problem when you do have to send somebody back from the grave, Sultan. You're slowing down. I mean, this is time they're spending right now looking for money basically to get Oculus back in the match that they could theoretically be using to hunt for kills, right, if that hadn't happened. And it just impacts the overall performance. And I mean, obviously the TGK and Warzone pretty quick, all things considered. I mean, we saw a good example just now on Revamp stream where he just got lasered right the minute he went down. So that is a bit of a problem, but it does slow the pacing significantly, and they're actually going to go get the buyback, so they will get Oculus back in. And you can actually see him plays off there because somebody was looking to scout it out. Good shots coming down range there from Ruru, actually, who falls into cover, pops the armor plate, I think in anticipation of the fight to come. I don't think he knocked anyone right there, Sultan, but he certainly put enough shots in maybe to deter them from continuing to push forward.
Float and scout.
More cash on hand. They have enough now to call in the drop if they want it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Oh, boy. Not great.
Yeah,
Not
now a
great.
little bit of
Options
pressure
are
there. Still
replaced.
has time to get the shields back in. Yeah.
Really being forced to fight over this, to be honest. I don't think they anticipated this when they went out this far. He's got good eyes up on the rocks there. I think he's anticipating an ambush from that direction because he knows that one of his opponents was over there earlier on. Peeking again. There you go, in the distance. Don't know. I have a feeling that's not the same squad that initially jumped there, if I'm being honest. It kind of feels like that might
You might be right.
Just from the way they were running. Yeah, kind of just out there in the open. They still have not been able to buy their teammate back in, so they will go for the buy station there. Oculus will go back in. A bit of a dangerous situation for him, though, obviously. You can see his teammates kind of preparing themselves, as it were, for his arrival and trying to drive off whoever was lurking.
The thing about this, though, you pull your parachute right when you get out of the plane, you can fall. I think it's something like 2.5 full minutes before you reach the ground. So you've got opportunity to, like I was saying earlier, scope out a little bit. He knows there's enemies in the region. You've got aerial support now immediately to try and signal where some of those enemies are, and it can kind of be the advantage when you come back in. Now going to drop on top of the stadium specifically to avoid any damage while he doesn't have a loadout to work with, and still has that aerial superiority. So I like the player from Oculus. We'll see if they can make it work for them. Yeah, they're going to see the ping coming in easily. Don't go down to the top, though.
No, then you're really screwed. Yeah, you're very right, Sultan. Though it is actually basically kind of a free, well, not free, right? But it is a UAV in a lot of sense coming down like that, and he's taking way too much damage up here. He needs to not do this. Yeah, he needs to not, and I think he realizes that as well. Yeah, because he immediately backs off there. Goes to kind of readdress a different direction. Peeks it again, though. Oh my gosh.
Well, it's the problem. He's in a tough spot because you have to get down. They know you're up there, and he's got to pivot around while not staying too far away from the team because he's going to be a sitting duck when he inevitably has to parachute to the floor, right? So you can see his teammates in the map trying to follow him down to make sure that he's not going to be threatened at all. But it's with the gas moving in, it's kind of a dicey spot.
Drop.
A good spot.
And he's dropping in behind someone, actually. Oh, no, I think there's two someones there. Don't know if he necessarily expected that. Does actually manage to get someone down.
I love it.
Well done. Oh, no, he's knocked. Last second. That's a third party from somebody over on the high ground there, and he'll be knocked out again, and that'll send him back into the pit. Oculus did so well there, Sultan, to make that stick, though, to be honest. And it's just unfortunate that somebody was watching that from the high ground for the third party.
Yeah, I love the idea of seeing the downed enemy and still just going for the complete elimination specifically to pull the loot. And it almost panned out, but still has 2 members left, though, in the game. You got to tell from the circle, can't be too many people left. Again, we can't really see it because the webcam, but they do. I mean, they're still at $3,200, so not too far away from being able to get Oculus back in if there's a buy station close by, which there is at the base of the stadium. It's going to be outside of the ring, so time's against them, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, very true, and he'll go in here and grab from this loadout crate as well. Ruru again, or no, Moors this time. I thought it was Ruru, but Moors this time's gonna have to move into the circle right now, already in on the outside edge. I mean, obviously they're not gonna get Oculus back in here, and I think we'll see how far they can go. Those high ground spots there, definitely where the danger is coming from. They've already lost one teammate to them. And this central ring, Sultan, is just kind of a big, wide open area. This park, not particularly great.
Yeah, the cover's not ideal, especially when you consider how people are going to be coming into it. The way they're looking there from this outer edge, and you just got like a wide open space here and a lot of high ground surrounding this like little valley area. So a few places you can kind of see the tuck in here with the foliage, but generally speaking, it's not really a great spot that you want to be in. And you want to probably try and take control of one of these buildings as the gas moves in. So you've got at least another half round or so to better position yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if we get the chance there.
Playing this outside edge, checks the heartbeat sensor, looking for anybody who's coming out of that fog. See if they can jump them. Teammate, yeah, still covering that high ground. He's got targets on sight there. You see some shots, maybe some explosions there in the distance as that gas continues to close in. That ring's getting ever smaller. Right there in front of him is a target. Teammate moves up to those targets. Now he'll finally start to open fire. Scattered right there like a bunch of rabbits to various different cover areas. Get a rocket right next to him. That's pretty nasty. Now he's in a bit of a dangerous situation, though. He's going to have to quickly restructure his armor plates there because they're getting third party now. Somebody coming up behind him. He's lost all his armor. This is Ruru on screen right now, trying to stay alive, taking the fire from behind as well, getting pinched there. Lost the teammate, so Moors is down. Ruru all alone, split in between the people who just pinched Moors and whoever was coming over from the blue building there. Not a great situation. Throws out the heartbeat sensor, looking for a ping, can't find it, and there's a knock. Unfortunate ending. 5th place finish. That will keep them out of ranking contention. Let's just take a look really quick at how many kills they got before we go back to our multi-twitch.
Oh, didn't get a chance. But it looked like there was about 8 on...
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. So 13 total. Not a bad game. Not particularly spectacular, I would say, either, but
About 5,000 damage.
Yeah, so if we head back out to our multi-view here, Warmongers looks like Live BBQ is back in the old gulag there, for better or for worse. Liquid down here with Team Cookbook, we haven't really had a chance to kind of sight in on yet, so maybe we'll give them a little bit of screen time. They're at the tail end of their round right now. 7 teams left, or 7 players left, 4 squads in. 8 kills here for Liquids, the main player here with Cookbook. They're looking to try and finish this one off strong. That is a very small ring. Got movement in the side of the windmill. Good couple of shots down. Another one. Team wiped. So 3 squads left. 5 kills in. Now, where are those elusive 2 squads? Couple of shots down range. Good hits. Can't break the armor. Knockdown in turn. Oh, no. From behind. The third party. Oh, you hate to see it.
So not out of it just yet. What was it? 8 kills on the last one and 7 on this one. So 15 kills between the 2 of them. A fantastic round so far here. And if they do get, it looks like they will already get a placement. So first place is just icing on the cake.
The truck. Gonna take the truck and run it straight into him. And the trophy system, I think, might have actually gone off there. Playing around with the RPG. What are you doing, bro?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my good lord.
I think he thought he had further range. Kind of got a little lucky there, but ended up working out with the RPG and gets the win. Oh my goodness. Had no right. Absolutely no right, but we'll take those. That was a nice finish. Wow. Yeah. 22 kills on board here. And for Cookbook, and that's exactly what you want to see. Damage really solid as well. Looks like 6, just south of what, 9,000 damage? 6,000 or 700?
Yeah.
It's 8. I can math, I promise.
Yeah, that's you were elected to cast, not to math. Just like,
exactly right.
Crazy. You just, oh my god, there was so much going on there. He just threw the truck at him. First of all, that was spectacular. Hopped out with the RPG, a couple of rapid weapon swaps, whatever that was about, and just turns around and blasts. That's a good win.
I love the instant replays there. Cookbook with the dub. That's actually the first one we've gotten to see on stream. You know, just fortuitous to be able to see him with that. It's really solid. And Revamp with a victory as well, right off the bat.
Well, nice job, boys.
15 kills there for
15 and 9. Yeah, huge game for YMCMB1300. He is
at least
my
24
favorite
kills
player.
That's pretty remarkable.
I'm just gonna call him Infinity because that's the channel he cast on. But I do really like YMCMB1300. I enjoy his streams.
That's all right. Yeah, really solid performances. Looks like maybe teams are kind of coming into their own in the second half and showing us how it's done. 2 back-to-back Warzone victories there. Well, I guess back-to-back on stream, kind of. As Cookbook and Revamp put a little notch in the win column. 3 big uglies. Looks like they're queuing into a game currently. Warmongers in one as well. Back into the gulag, from the gulag rather, as Live BBQ. And now with 39 members left on 16 teams, they've got 6 kills on stream. If we might be able to jump in with them, see how they're doing over here.
Yeah, we can over here. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell you what. Sometimes.
Listen through somewhere pretty quickly. Not entirely sure where they're going. Looks like it's out.
Or
Oh, there,
in the
just towards
airport.
the ring.
Yeah. Airport maintenance. Kind of the smaller airport area here. They've got targets
keep on
on
site.
site. Yeah. They've also got drone strikes inbound, but not anywhere close to where they are. So somebody else, I guess, has taken a vested interest in the individuals that they would like to take out here.
Yeah, seeing a ton of action over here, and Warmonger's running right at it.
Dangerous positioning though, Sultan, coming in off the field like this. I mean, there's really not any
Wide
cover for
open.
them whatsoever. Yeah, if they play this wrong, if they don't arrive in time to do the third party, they are incredibly vulnerable. I think those drone strikes falling in again though are kind of indicative. Oh my good lord, there's just drone strikes everywhere right now. Oh no.
Yeah, they're approaching the fight, but it does start to look like with where the drone strikes are, maybe it's tapering away from them a little bit. Though I have to say that it looks like they see somebody inside and they want to start pushing them a little bit tougher. You're right though, they don't want to get themselves third party, and while they were out in the field, it seems like a bit of an exposed spot. Not really going to matter though. They may have arrived at least a little late.
Really?
That happened so quickly. Did he just?
Yeah. They all die?
Either Sis just went in and melted everyone. Oh, there you go.
Oh,
They found somebody on. There's one. Looks for the second. Ooh.
Got it.
Dodge, dip, duck, dive, dodge, gets the second kill. Impressively done there. And all of a sudden up to 8 on stream. And it's starting to look like a really good round here for Warmongers.
Yeah, really putting that MP7 to work right there too in those close quarters engagements. That was real well done. Good on them as well. I mean, I think they did show up just a little bit late to that one in terms of getting the third party, but certainly they caught the other team that had just won the fight kind of in the rotation there, Sultan, as they were healing themselves up, kind of restoring themselves, and then so they were able to just go in and finish it off. I do believe that is a flare launched over there, so that gives them a pretty good clue where the target is they needed one though, because they do have a UAV up, or they did have a UAV up right there that was giving them pretty good sight lines, and sure enough, target's on.
Ooh, beautiful.
Amazing shooting from range. Hello.
Gets a second. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was
Good
impressive.
night, Irene. Good lord.
Maybe a different team though.
Good night.
Yeah, and sometimes that's when teams are most vulnerable, right? Right when you clean up a team, you're trying to clean up the loot and kind of get your bearings, put your shields back in. You're not as aware of your surroundings somewhat. So you gotta stay vigilant in those situations, or you can get completely jumped and knocked out immediately. So, and looking again, just
Oh no!
making it look easy.
Corners, bro. Didn't check the corners. That's tragic. Clear your corners, Rook. That's the basic mistake right there. Also, can I just say, continue to be impressed with the really good fire discipline that BBQ shows. You know, you notice right there, instead of just immediately opening fire, he waited until he had a better window of shots when the individual he was looking at there was in those two pillars. I think a lot of perhaps less experienced players would just feel the urge to immediately start shooting at the target that comes through the door, therefore not necessarily winning the gunfight, but that was well done. That was very clever. Getting up there to the high ground right now. I think they believed somebody was up here earlier. I think you can still see somebody might be thick over there trying to close in on that. Certainly they've got people coming back in by parachute. They're shooting that fire up there. Not quite landing that many shots, but enough, I think, to be a significant nuisance.
But gets knocked out completely. Just beacon up there on the top. You couldn't have attracted more attention, and gets punished for it. Luckily in a position where his teammates can revive him, but yeah, that's some kind of mistake you want to avoid.
I think they took a pretty solid gamble there, Sultan, on the idea that the ring was protecting them from that side, like shots just like that came in from that direction, and it just didn't actually turn out to be the truth. Whoever shot him, it must have actually been either hugging the edge of the ring or in the ring itself when they made that shot. Just unfortunate. Maybe just a little bit too aggro there as well. But even as we say that, Thick gets bumped coming around the corner almost immediately. And now we'll see a bit of a gunfight here. Great down. I mean, if they can get him to the targets inside Sultan, they usually get the win, those 1v1 situations. But that doesn't really seem to be their problem right now. Throws the C4 out over the top. Just goes for the finish. Well done.
his money.
Yeah, not a bad
Now
idea
they're
there. And I think
gonna
he might
rebuy
have thought
that
that he would have been the crawling member would have been leading him over into
Got him.
to his teammate, but didn't quite. Looks for the second kill. I think he actually does find it there. Man, yeah, it starts getting a little dicey though. I think you were exactly right. It starts to feel like it's coming apart at the seams a little bit. They were able to bring that one back around, but they did lose a teammate, or at least there was a down there, and they were able to bring it back in. But yeah, a couple times in those last 2 fights, they've lost somebody. So I'll say a little bit LP.
Let's be honest here, too, Sultan. There's no chance for a buyback at this stage. It would take kind of a miracle with 19 players left, 9 squads in, for them to find a buy station right in the middle of the kill box there and get them back in. So they are going to have to finish this up just on the 2. Actually, it looks like Thick Girls Only might have come back in only to get destroyed kind of as he dropped. Maybe he was thinking about going for that loadout drop. I'm not entirely sure. They know that somebody destroyed them over there, but they don't have any immediate targets, so they just kind of play off. It's not a great situation, let's be honest. Like you said, they did manage to wrench it around, so all credit to them. Distributing their cash a little bit, they're not entirely sure what the plan or thought process is on that one.
Yeah, it looks like whoever got their third fled the scene, but looks like they do have a target in the circle. They might be trying to go for that buy station. Be insane.
I mean,
There's
2
no way.
cars now
That's the only
on
explanation.
top of the buy station. You see the 2 motor vehicles there up on the top side. Vehicles in the AO. Whether or not
Got C4 though.
he sees them too, he's got to be really. Yeah, he's gonna try. He was gonna try. That's why the car peeled off. Oh, cool. Oh, he's. Oh my lord! But he downs himself.
What?
No.
Bro, the
Oh
I down one there, Sam.
I support it.
Oh, it's a.
Oh.
Hit my truck. Oh, that'll be the end.
No way, bro.
That's a disappointment.
I like the idea a lot. I really like the idea. A for creativity, B for effort, maybe like a D for execution, but it looked good. 17 kills there for Thick Girls, you can see in the top, and it should be a very, very solid round.
That was a lot of kills, actually, because there was a significant amount of kills there for Live BBQ as well. So a really solid game for them. But, as we go back to our multi-twitch here and just take a look at where all our teams are, it is worth pointing out, I think Warmongers is one of those kind of boomer bust teams we were talking about earlier, where that was a really good game for them, but not all of their games have consistently been at that level. So it's a little bit of a letdown in that regard. Still, definitely going to catapult them up a ways in the standings. It's a shame they couldn't get the placement victory out of that as well. But hey, got to be happy with what you got. Kicking back over here, I'm just taking a look at Revamp. They have still a goodly amount of players left in their match. 2 kills on. Might be worth watching and seeing what they can do. Here, just kind of playing the outside edge of that ring, hopping up together in a vehicle. They've actually already lost 1, which is a bit of a shame, but still in the fight with 2.
Yeah.
Revamp is currently 4th place overall in the standings, and I assume that includes with EU teams as well. I'll have to go back and check the scoreboard. So 4th place, as Sultan said, globally, which I like. Looking down on high, so it does look like they've got Infinity back in here, kind of as we said earlier, playing that UAV role. Sees a target right there, pings him out for the 2 teammates. Actually going to come down hard on top of him as well. Not resisting the urge to get stuck in at all. Pops the parachute last second to kill the momentum of the jump. Drops on and gets a bunch of loot for his troubles. So welcome back to welcome back to Verdansk, buddy. That was fortunate.
Yeah, nice start there for Infinite. And just real quick with the leaderboard, like we were saying, Revamp is 4th, sitting there at 160 points, right behind 3 Big Uglies, also North American team in 3rd place globally now, 161 points, and just neck and neck those two. So we'll see how that resolves itself. They're right behind Synchro Esports at 181 points, but then KRC still sitting at the top of the table, 274. So a pretty steep hill to climb for these 2 teams, but definitely an opportunity for one or both of them to get into that top 3 overall. So I think this last 45 minutes or so of the kill race is going to be crucial. I'm excited to see what these teams have for us. Early off to kind of a rough start, though, as it looks like it's Revamp that's going down early here for, oh no, who is that? couple members down. It's a whole bloodbath over here, Corbec.
Yeah, they're really fighting it out. A couple of squads up in this area around the promenade. Nice shot indeed. Gets the team wipe, and he will be able to get a squad mate back in. But yeah, that was a bit of a dangerous situation there for a second. I think they were fortunate that the individual who was kind of behind them and to the left, they had already downed. Grabbing the foregrip there for the gun. Got himself a decent setup, I think, in terms of weaponry. Not bad in terms of armor plate economy either. So both things you'd like to see.
Well, the dollar reduced, exactly where you like them to be as well. 11,000 here for Infinite on stream.
That is a significant amount of dollar reduce. They use Australian currency here in Verdansk, not sure why. Well, there's actually a government petition. Somebody petitioned the government to change their currency to the dollar redo in Australia. Did not get off the ground, and yeah, they said it would be good. People would like collect it because it was dollar redues, and I was like, you know what, you're actually 100% correct. I'm pretty sure in Canada they call their coins, aren't their coins like loonies and toonies?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. Because the $1 coin has a loon on it, and then the $2 coin has Bugs Bunny on it. No, it's just worth $2.
My God. Love it.
I guess I don't know any native Canadian cartoons. Is that a Rocky and Bullwinkle? Is that not? Gets it down again. It's a laser sight from across the way. Looks for the second.
Good shots there up on the roof of the gas station or whatever the hell that thing is. The repurposed Wiener Schnitzel with its triangular roof gets there on the high ground, gets some shots in, shoots that guy in the knees. So even if he hadn't killed him right there, never would have walked again. Feel very proud of that, I guess.
So then taking no prisoners, moving directly through. Now it's 20,000 and change in the cash stash there.
Yeah, wow, that is a significant amount of money. You think they're gonna have to hit up a buy station soon? I mean, there's one right over there. You know, with their trophy-mounted, joy wagon here, they could probably go over and buy something pretty cool.
Well, and it's use it or lose it at this point, right? You got all that, you lose it in a second just from going to the gulag, or at least a significant portion. So might as well stock up a couple of UAVs, maybe some self-revives or something.
Yeah, that is actually immediately what he goes for. Yeah, self-revive kit coming out very quickly there. No hesitation at all. Hello. Boy. It's hard out here for parachutists. I tell you what.
Yeah,
I don't know why you would drop on. Yeah, I don't know why you would drop it on that. To be honest, that was just poor decision making.
Only a handful of explanations. Either he saw the loadout drop and was like, "Oh, that's where I'll go," and didn't do his due diligence to check the spot, see if it was clear before he landed, or there's a team around them right now and he was trying to drop with his team. But I feel like maybe they would have been engaged by now had that been the case.
They do know somebody is somewhere because you can see they have it on the radar, and they're actually looking up in the sky because they're getting this ping again and again and again that they're right on top of somebody right now. And they don't see them. You can
there it is.
See the confusion hundreds of meters up in the sky. Gonna ping him, decide what they want to do, which I guess is just leave.
Let's go.
You know what? It might have been that his teammates are coming back in. That might be one of the teammates for that parachutist we saw get wrecked a few seconds ago. Tracking that falling body there with the ACOG, kind of looking for the opportunity to start shooting. A couple of dulcetary shots there, just see what he can do, and then he'll just move on. Not worth it.
You picked up
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah, I picked it up.
kind of an effort to get all the way over there. And now they've got a bounty contract, so instead of trying to chase, those parachuting shadows over there, an opportunity to kill these bounty members who they just mentioned. The circle's gonna start closing in, so they'll have an opportunity, or the circle I believe is closing in, so we've got an opportunity now to push these bounty members to maybe pinch them a little bit as they try and get inside. Ooh, sees one. A little bit of damage in, not enough, nothing sticking, maybe just like a partial shield at best. Gonna push him here a little bit, creeping around the corner, can't quite find him. There's the engagement though, from over the top and down, completely melted. They just saw him coming. Yeah, and that's exactly, we were kind of talking about that with the other with those other streams, the patience and trying to figure out when to engage, because at that exact moment doesn't get the shot across, gives away his position, and then gets punished for it. So a little bit tough there, but it's not over yet.
I mean, you gotta run.
No, his teammates could get him back in with the redeploy if they so choose. Certainly they have a ways to go to get to that redeploy station
Yeah,
to buy in.
Isn't
So
that a
bit unfortunate there that he went down like that. Just kind of that tight
well,
corner.
Right.
Their
And definitely
bounty
a distance
target
to go, but they
also.
do have the resources.
Spot.
They
What's
do
that?
have the resources. They have a bounty target there as well to the outside edge that they could pursue, but again, the death kind of I think stops them from doing that.
Yeah, they
Oh no,
fucked it.
one teammate's gonna
Like what's
peel
that?
off there and go hunting the bounty, or was thinking about it.
Yeah, he's kind of tracking him a little bit. I guess the benefit of that, of where the bounty is and kind of where they found him, is that they were going to be converging into the circle around the same point. So it is kind of a disadvantage that they weren't able to have all three to be able to push that position with the calamity of the circle closing. But shouldn't be an issue for them to be able to get there. Remember back, is he going to use the rocket? That's a terrible idea.
I don't know what.
I don't think that works.
I would be very curious to see what had happened. Would have been good if he could like get him to stand.
Oh, he didn't check
the
either.
buy station was camped. Oh no,
I
we.
literally said on you. I don't know how you didn't hear
Well,
it,
he'll
bro.
get the teammate back in, but at the cost of his own life.
You know what? And we saw the exact opposite of that. Just somebody running directly through, not checking corners, and was the beneficiary. But last time, punished for it. This time, too excited to get to the buy station. Especially at this stage of the game, you got to expect there's somebody around the area. So he'll scout for the teams to try and pick up these kills and see if they can't.
No choice there, Sultan. Though he takes fire. He's just got to dive.
Bro.
Get down on the roof. Only has the sidearm. This is not an ideal situation. Will drop another rank. Needs something better than this just pistol if he's gonna win this one out. No,
I love that
think
optimism from range though. Take a couple shots.
I mean, he was taking the sight line. I think he was just seeing if he had the clearance to run out and get it. So he will.
I'm getting a ping.
Where?
The 12 gauge automatic there.
Right. Whoa, we'll circle,
Make him question their reason for existence if they come around that corner. Oh nope, never mind.
Ooh. Had a prayer, but yeah, couldn't quite get it.
Out, brief candle, as it were. No luck to be had. So I think we'll pull off of them just for a second here and take a look kind of at our big board again, see where some of our teams are. About 40-ish minutes left in this kill race tournament. Still plenty of distance to cover. Two new squads appearing here. Lex Minutemen down there. That's Tony Scones. And then over on the right-hand side, Jake Rudd and the boys from the Dream Team stepping in. Very much appreciate that Tony Scones and the Lex Minutemen all wearing the exact same cowboy skin. Living up to the name, as it were. Great stuff. Unfortunately, we can't see it now, but trust me when I say. Taking a quick look here, dropping in on Jake Rudd and the Dream Team. Jake Rudd, actually, Jake with 15 kills here, so doing a pretty good job. Around the edge of the stadium, has two teammates in the match. That'll be Juicy's Loose and KR1, both there with him. Playing the edge of the ring, again, 15 kills on screen. That's nothing to scoff at there, Sultan.
Not at all. Yeah, and also hunting a bounty, also being hunted. That always kind of reminds me of that Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at each other. Where it's like, I'm doing this thing, you're doing that. It's just, you never know if there's like a third team that's hunted by one and doing the other. It ends up being like a whole round robin. The takeaway here, you're exactly right. Doing pretty well so far. They've got, they're pretty spread out. You look at the mini map, and there's a lot of space between Rudd, who I believe we have on stream here, and his teammates. So I don't know what the strategy is here, but it seems to be, whatever the strategy is, seems to be working out, because like you said, 15 kills on stream is nothing to sneeze at.
Now they've got targets in the open there, just gonna laser somebody
What is he
down
doing?
at range. Beautiful.
Oh my god.
Like a robot.
I don't think I could hit a still target to kill that quickly.
Nope, definitely couldn't. Unfortunately, they'll lose Juice's Loose here as well. So he will have to come back around. Teammate completely gone. So kind of question what exactly he does here. He does have enough money to buy him right back in, and I think that's exactly what he's going to do. Good little slide and buy. Runs right past it, comes back around the front of the stadium, so he knows where he got bumped, and he has to play it a little bit cautiously as he comes around the outside, specifically looking for that gentleman, and he finds him, and he downs him right away. Waits for a second teammate maybe to come up. Sure enough, there's the teammate. Good fire down range, doesn't quite finish him off. You can see on the other side his teammate drops down. Juice coming back in on the action. Run, Juice. It's not safe. There we go. Good, great job.
Very nice,
well
very
done.
nice.
Playing like an absolute killer there.
Yeah, if this is cautious, I would love to see him get aggressive. That was pretty impressive. Just the kills we've seen on stream so far, the laser from range, and then just the positioning there and the coordination from the team. Nice to come in and just protect Juice a little bit there. They're going to try and they still need to get the redeploy now in their most recent casualty. But with 18 kills on stream and just 9 squads left, you got to feel pretty good. There's a buy station right here, so if they can get enough cash, they'll be in a good spot. They're only 40 or 900 away, I believe, from being able to pull back their third member, and there's a lot of loot over here, so maybe some cash piles they haven't quite uncovered yet.
Rudd kind of hunting around, sees a vehicle. Also, let me just compliment Rudd on how clean his room looks behind him. Well done, bud. It looks nice. I cannot put that on my webcam. There's a reason I have a green screen. Ooh, they've got multiple teams here closing in on them, though. Great UAV there actually helps stave off what could have been a nasty third-party situation. Unfortunately, Juice's Loose is caught out and brought down early on. Not a lot they can do about that. Now, Rudd has to play this super carefully because there are opponents either right around this corner or right above him. They are around the corner, gets the initial knock there, forced to fall back, starts popping in the armor plates right away. Gonna go out with the frag. Has to be a bit careful on the corner peak. Great frag out. Down someone. Gonna push up. Piece of corner. Oh no. Caught out on the peak. Pops the armor plate again. This has been a massive drain on the armor peaks. He gets taken down.
Ooh.
Does finish someone off. That, to me, Sultan, is just a pure kill race play right there. Rudd going for confirming the kill, even if he gets taken down, knows that the situation is maybe kind of out of control. His team's going to get placed or picked off anyway. Doesn't worry about the placement, just worries about confirming the kill. And huge kills there for him, 20 on the board. Hopefully, we'll get to see on the after action report just how many kills he has.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up about him going for the confirm instead of the standing player, because he'd already peeked it, knew the standing player was going to be behind the pillar, and if anything, it's on the other team for not getting their crouching player out of the way. But obviously, they can't possibly know where, like, in a kill race. The takeaway, though, is you're exactly right. Really good heads-up play from him to go and get the confirm in a situation where both of his teammates were down, and he wasn't going to be in a position to do much more with that situation, or with his resources. So, really smart play there. Love to see it, and nice round for them. We didn't get to see the final score. But
yeah, we'll go back out to the multi, or we're going back out and taking a look at Tony Scones here, one of our other new teams, the Lex Minutemen. Just have to say, I really appreciate there was somebody who popped up on the friends list of Run that was called Genghis Fatan. Like, look at him. That's amazing. That's so good. I'm actually jealous. I can't even believe that. I could never thought of that before. Genghis Fatan. Amazing. Anyway, taking a look here at Lex Minutemen, just getting the look around the airport, up in the control tower there of the kind of auxiliary airport, as it were, not the international one. Passes over the scavenger contract. He is alone right now. He does have enough money for the buyback, should he choose to do it. Hello. Okay, well, that was maybe a little bit ambitious. I don't even think I really saw Scones break a sweat. Right there.
Oh my goodness.
Totally unfazed. Look at the calm on this man. My God. Ice water running in his veins. You'd think he was just watching somebody else play from the way he reacted to that. Somebody dropped out of the sky on top of him, Sultan, and he reacted as if somebody had just, wished him good day. He was turned around and blasted him, cut his teammate out as well. We'll forgive him for wearing that New England Patriots shirt.
Only partially and temporarily, but
Maybe you guys should land
Anyway, does he buy? Yeah, he buys his teammates back, gets them in on the action, so they'll all get a good sort of reset here, which is exactly what he needed to do. Still 95 squads left in the match, Sultan, so if I had to guess, I would say that was just kind of a bad start for them, all things considered. Oh, yes, go for the chopper.
Oh, we're hunted.
Get the boys in it as well. Let's go for a ride. This will be a great opportunity to point out again that they are all wearing that exact same skin. I can't remember what the guy is called. I think it's like Tex or something generic like that.
Okay. Yep, I see him too.
Apparently the trophy system works in the helicopter. The more you know. Somebody should alert the military of that. I feel like they don't know about that. Could be really useful.
They're gonna camp this fucking.
That could be really helpful. Now, I don't know if you guys saw that they are being hunted currently. There's a bounty active for I don't know which player on the team, but they're trying to avoid that a little bit, and I think get the loadouts up enough for the rest of the team. I'm not sure what the strategy of the helicopter just yet.
I'm not sure exactly. I was just going to say the same thing. I'm not sure exactly what the purpose of the helicopter was. I think maybe it was to try and draw attention so they could get some gunfights, which clearly has sort of worked. I think it was also just kind of for scouting. Hello.
Unfortunate. How unfortunate.
And that's basically me in every Warzone game. It's like, I'll peek this corner. Some guy in a cowboy hat just comes around and blasts me from behind.
Dude, I love trying to play tactically. Crouching, looking, and then just completely mowed through from the side.
Some guy just runs up to me with an SMG and just triple taps me after he just crashed his helicopter into the building. I don't know. See, I don't know if they're gonna get. Yeah, okay, getting some boys in on the helicopter. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Pop caps getting.
There we go. Get the taking Cowboys airborne, as it were. What?
They might have found other people. I'm really not. Oh, they're going for maybe the bounty here. Oh, the
spy station. I don't know. This is some weird stuff. I really don't understand what the helicopter usage is about, but I kind of low key appreciate that they're just using it anyway because it's really funny. They literally used a helicopter to go like 10 feet right there, which is just a beautiful, all things considered.
And again, maybe it is just trying to attract other teams.
They might have been. No, they might have been loading up. I think you're right, Sultan. They were going for the buy station and kind of just loading up before they all got in their chopper. And now they're going to go on the hunt, as it were, right past the monument there on the high ground. Oop, they spot that flare. And they spot targets. So they'll come in low.
Water.
Right as the Valkyrie starts playing somewhere. As they try and close in on whoever shot that flare up. No sightlines though, so whoever it was, it looks like might have been able to bug out before death came for them. It looks like they are gonna use the helicopter there just for half a second, basically to scout. Oh, they've got some guys in parachutes dropping in. Well, that gentleman just had a particularly bad day.
Unfortunate.
I thought for a second he eliminated that guy who was on the flat fall, but I know he didn't. It just looked that way. Chopper drops. He'll hop back in on the chopper.
Cabby, take the car. Cabby, take the car.
Yeah, using the hop chopper drop there.
The hop chopper strategy. Right on top of him. Getting full value out of those little birds, but they actually lost one of their teammates. Oh no, the chopper. The chopper has betrayed them because they took the helicopter back the other way, and that split the team. And the whole crew gets wiped out there in a quick succession, kind of on their own merits, to be honest, Sultan. They kind of split up there. Going back and looking at the multi-twitch, by the way, Oculus just dropped a massive game, 13, 14, and 10, respectively. 37 kills.
Yeah, you are right though. The last team we're looking at just got a little cavalier there with the helicopter and the floating in and around. So kind of paid for it to some extent. But yeah, you're right. Oculus over there, tons of kills. Now let's see if we can refresh the leaderboard and see what we're looking at here. You can imagine predictions on winners. Okay. Well, let me give you the leaderboard right now with the time to go, and we'll go and see what we're looking at, because it is really getting tight. We do have 2 North American teams in the top 3, so guaranteed at least 2 of these North American teams going to be finishing right in the money there. KRC is still top spot, 274 points, 190 kills from Europe. Now in second place is Dream Team with 203 points, 140 kills, so 50 kills in about a half hour. That is, I mean, it's not undoable. Revamp right behind them in third, 190 points at 134 kills, so just 6 kills behind Dream Team. Sinker Esports from Europe stuck in fourth. Cookbook looking to pass them, but a ways to go, about 20 points and roughly 18 kills or so, but you got to assume they might be able to get in the picture for that. Yeah, a lot of opportunity for North American teams to really take the majority of the top 10. It looks like they actually already are. Only 1, 2, 3 European teams in the top 10 remaining, including KRC there at the top. So we'll see if this closes out, but a very strong performance from these North American squads as we come into the final half hour of the kill race.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to kind of guess, offer up predictions on who I thought was gonna pull it out, I mean, the Dream Team has really been doing a great job from what we've seen on the stream. Whether or not that's enough for them, I guess, to kind of yoink their way back into the top spot, I don't know if I can necessarily say. But just from the way that we've seen them playing, I would put them pretty high up there in their ability to overcome KRC and take that top spot. I will say, Sultan, it's been pretty much unprecedented as we watch somebody get axed to death there on the multi-twitch. Always good. I will say it's pretty much unprecedented to see a European team actually win. Usually a North American team overtakes them, usually. So if they did today, if KRC did today hold on, I think that would be arguably one of the first times that's happened. It's a big gap. I think there is maybe enough time to overcome that gap if they have games that really put paid. Like if you get some big kill games, you could do this.
Well, it turns out I didn't even have the. Oh, so we got news that.
Yeah, got second in the last event, so.
Yeah. And actually, I didn't have the most updated stats. I think we did have them on stream, though. So you guys saw that 3 Big Uglies is in second place, Dream Team in third, Revamp in fourth, and Synchro's actually been knocked out of that top 4. So I think it is still pretty tight. 3 Big Uglies with a really good opportunity, a very decent shout at just south of 40 kills away from KRC to get it. We obviously saw 27 come out of Oculus and crew in that last round, so not impossible. And you tack on a couple good finishes there and some solid damage, and also it looks way more doable. So we shall see. They're 54 points behind, so it doesn't have to be all kills. It could be just total points. So opportunity for them to come through. If I had to do a prediction, I don't know. It seems unlikely. I love to see Revamp come back. I really like their play style and make it interesting. But if I'm looking directly off the scoreboard right now, 3 Big Uglies has the best chance.
Yeah, and we'll actually pop back in and get a look here at 3 Big Uglies as they play. The key here from 3 Big Uglies is whether or not that game that they just had, which that monster 37 kills, whether that was a fluke or whether that was something they can do again. If they can get close to that number in this current match, they could, I think, very well take KRC over with the remaining time. But it's a big ask. And keep in mind, too, I think just compared to our Apex kill races, these matches do take a longer time, right? There is no denying that it takes longer. The map is bigger. It's harder to get engages. I mean, we've definitely seen situations, I think, so far today where teams have just spent, 5 or 10 minutes wandering. Oh, speaking of engages right there, that was a nasty one, getting bumped coming right from underneath one of the planes in the boneyard. Great responses by Oculus to get the pick. Nearly gets jumped again, coming around the corner, will go down. That's not good. Teammates should be nearby to bail him out, though. I don't know if Ruru came across and got those shots in, but he will get Oculus back up, and Oculus kind of giving a sigh there. That is a slightly stressed out man, I would say, at this point in time, by the looks of it. Look at a little stressed.
Yo, if we get a win,
Yeah, there's some more action off there to the right. See if they can pick up that kill. Got some pressure early on and hasn't resolved it just yet. Looking for that runaway and has the down. Can't find the limb. Gets down again though.
No.
Ooh, and this is not what you want to see at the last stretch here. Trying to fight for that leaderboard spot. That is tough. Into the gulag early. What are your opinions? Gulag early or gulag late? Would you rather go to the gulag right before it closes or right at the beginning of the game?
I think the only right answer, in my opinion, is early. The later you go in, the more potentially destructive it is to your chances of maintaining your big gear, kind of as we move back out to the multi-twitch here. If you go early, you're not losing too much of value, but if you die after you get like a loadout drop and all this other stuff, not only is it slowing down your potential progress, it also becomes consistently more difficult for your teammates to res you back in. And I think those are things that kind of contribute to the overall difficulty of it. So yeah, early for me.
That's fair enough. I would say that I think with the prevalence of loadouts, you can kind of get back to where you were, so to speak, relatively quickly if you're able to find a loadout after coming back into the gulag. So, the argument can be made if you go later, you almost get a second chance a little bit later on where, you kind of run out of more opportunities if you go in early. Now, I will say though, as we're looking at a Dream Team, speaking of teams in a good spot, 6 kills on stream for Rudd as a Dream Team who is in 3rd place. Really, they're
That's a big kill game for them. 6 so far, 7 actually now make it. Rudd really having to put things together, and Sultan is either doing the most impressive statue pose I have seen in a long time, or his camera might be frozen. In our chat here, it could just be really committed to the bit. I'm not sure which. Look at him go! My God, what a gamer! He's got a proud career as one of those living statues. That's what he does on the weekend. And before you think that's an insult, it is not. Those guys bring in a metric ton of money. Anyway, looks like Sultan's power has gone out, which is unfortunate. They've killed the lights. Hopefully he'll survive whatever happens in the next few minutes, and he'll be able to get back on stream relatively quickly. Taking a look here, kind of close up on the Dream Team as they move forward, as now you have no choice but to listen to just me talk. Hello, welcome to Corbec's Call of Duty Hour. Over here in the Barrowcat Promenade, of course, the 8 kills in the bank, really nothing to scoff at. Unfortunately, they do have one teammate down. Playing there on the sound queue, definitely heard and saw someone over there, knows he's got someone in his sights. Unfortunately, no special sights there, but still, he doesn't even need it. Downs it almost immediately, comes around the corner of the truck, and I think just so eager to get the kill, he does not see the other teammate waiting right there, who burns him right out. I think the odds of KR1 being able to work their way back over there to help him out are pretty low, but Rudd at least doing his teammate the favor there of getting him that last view in on before he gets taken out, as we switch back over here to the multi-twitch view is the Gulag. Up in the top right corner, Oculus, which was the team that I was going to go take a look, considering their current positioning. They're the 3 big uglies. Unfortunately, Oculus just got knocked as well, so nothing he can really do about it. Looks like then in that case we might just go take a look here at the Dream Team and see what Rudd can put together. He did immediately win his Gulag fight by the look of it. He is coming back in with nothing though, and 2 of his teammates in need of redeployment. Actually manages to drop right on his body. Perfect positioning there, gets everything back that he hadn't even been looted. Throws in some armor plates as well. Reloads his gun from where he left it, basically, and then he gets back into the action. He only has $400 in the bank, so he's going to have to make a ton of money here if he wants to respawn in both his team members. Big pressure right now on Rudd. Again, this is a team that could catch if they played this right. Great shots coming in. Well played. Using the window there as just a little bit of cover. Can't finish off the laser on his opponent there. The only thing I will say here is he gets hit again and has to force cover and get some armor plates. I don't know if this is necessarily the best thing for him to be doing right now from a kill race perspective. We have seen these guys play very intentionally towards the kill race format, but with 20-ish minutes left on the clock, I do kind of worry that he's going to maybe sabotage himself just a little bit here, whether it would be more advantageous for him to just take the death, take the L, and kind of get back in on it. But I mean, with shooting like that, it'd probably be pretty hard to convince him to do that as he throws out the Semtex and tries to go in for the finish. Didn't quite get it. He knows he's got somebody hiding behind there. Will take him down with a good long shot elimination. Quick reload on the gun. Still knows he's being hunted up here on the high ground. Sure enough, great little bit of play. Wipes the team and continues on business as usual. Still not enough cash, though, to respawn his teammates. Oh, nope, there you go. Just enough. So he's got enough to buy back in. Unfortunately, the nearest buyback is quite far away, a couple 100 meters. Ring starting to get closer to where he is, and he will have to run for it. 200 something meters.
I was gonna comment his stream. It's super high quality. You know.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is actually very nice stream. Very clean room. You know. Great names of people here. We've got Keeping It Wheel, Genghis Watan. I don't know why. This is bringing it hard today. Pops that, gets some more cash in. Almost has enough to buy back in both his teammates if he so chose. Looks like Sultan maybe is rejoining us in just a few seconds here. Hopefully his power has worked itself out. 100 meters to the buy station. Going for the one underneath the Ferris wheel here. Does have to be very careful, though, because we've seen it happen already multiple times today. People just get bumped and immediately taken down outside of these Ferris, or outside of these buy stations. Carefully. He's definitely checking a lot, kind of getting a full scope of the immediate area before he goes in for the buy. Gets one, drops in the second. I think he went for the armor plate pack there as the second one as he gets his teammate in. 2,100 in the bank for him, 900 for the teammate. Got a little bit of a ways to go here before they get back into the ring. And Sultan, are you back with us now? The land of tomorrow. Now he might still be working on something here for a second.
I wonder if I wonder if it was a bit of a miss. Like if he hadn't bought those plates right there, the $900 that he's coming back in with would have been enough to buy him back. But it looks like he landed super far away anyway, kind of spread themselves out a little bit. So kind of a moot point.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the strat was with that far away landing. I'm also not entirely sure what exactly Rudd is doing right now, kind of playing around this box. Whether he's waiting maybe for his teammate to make his way back over to him. I think that might be what's going on, just kind of checking these angles, checking these corners, looking to see if he can get an engage with anybody on the high ground. Again, it's a slow pace of play. He will throw that money to him, and instead they're actually going to go for the armor plate bundle, so they're not even going to try and revive KR1 here. Looks like the two of them are just going to go alone into this one, which is kind of interesting that they've thrown out like that. Taking a look now, they're heading towards his bounty contract. Maybe that is how they're imagining they're going to generate the cash flow needed to buy their teammate back in. 12 squads left, 25 left in the game. Big game for these guys as well. They needed just a couple of big kill games to close the gap. But again, looking at the time frame in the kill race here, they are starting to run out of time just a little bit. Heads for the wall there, coming up through the gate.
I wonder if that's the strategy. Is they didn't want to spend the money to buy back in. They just were trying to gear up so they could full send it into this bounty, see what happens, and then rinse and repeat on another match.
It would make a lot of sense. I do think the temptation is here, with the 10 squads left in this game. I do think that there is the temptation to try and place, and they've got a target down the street there. And that that's not the MP5. I thought it was the MP5 for a second. That's an absolute laser right there. They will actually get 4,200 from that bounty, which is enough for them to buy their teammate back in. And, we can almost say that they had planned that perfectly. Obviously, they couldn't have determined that their bounty was going to go that way, right over by that buy station. But man, did it look like that was the plan all along.
Yeah, what do we know, right?
Could very well have been.
All part of the plan.
UAV, all part of the plan. Welcome back, Sultan.
Yeah, weird little power blip off and on. But we back in it, and now seeing him in on the high ground. I'm telling you, the laser accuracy from Rudd is remarkable. I don't know, just beelines directly to and down. Like it doesn't even break a sweat. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, the recoil control.
Here it is again.
Yeah, really making full use of that assault rifle at those long ranges, and I think the recoil control in particular is just so impressive.
There's a full 100 yards away, beaming them.
Yeah, KR1 drops in on the roof there. They throw that Semtex in ahead. Try and get a little coverage out. They are running, dangerously close to that ring, though. That's the only problem. We'll have the gas.
Oh, love the aggressiveness.
Hey, hello. Burns him on the outside.
And dude thought he was coming for the bamboozle and got bamboozled himself. Beautifully done there from Red and crew. Headed towards this bounty. The shell outside the circle. It's closing in, but they're headed that direction. Still in a very good spot. 16 kills on stream, as you can see there for Red. That is.
This is pretty much our next game is just gonna be.
Just call it another Saturday. Apparently, with the way they've been moving through some of these teams, really impressive work. Headed towards the docks area. Is that what it's called?
On my mark.
All right.
Yeah,
Port. There it is.
Port. Yeah, he will have to get more kills though. I mean, he does have the bigger gap to climb than the big uglies, but if he can put in a good kill game here, I mean, we will have seen two really consistent performances. I mean, I guess he kind of, let's be honest, he already has, with 16 kills as it were, has put in a good game. Not really sure what he's trying to do right there.
I'm sure going to climb up on over.
playing around a bit. They know where their bounty target is, so they do have to approach just a little bit cautiously. They have 6 squads left in this match, 15 people, so not full 6 squads, which is a little advantageous for them, all things considered. That bounty target too, I guess, helping them out by just giving them a solid idea of where at least one of their opponents are, as they just kind of close in from multiple angles on that one, Sultan hunting for the pick.
And you do kind of see him converging around separately, as I believe it's KR is coming around to the side again, just completely, just needs a glimpse and gets the kill. Very nicely done there from Rudd as they look for a few other victims if there are any to be found. But just moving methodically through like you like to see, gets a little bit of damage in from the far side, has to react quickly, and now needs some help. Will try and just evade this. See if he can get some shield packs in and coming for the angle, but comes right back around. Saw him coming.
No.
Yeah, opponent completely predicted the movement there, and he goes down. Hopefully the squad can get him back in, but he downs a second, and now it's starting to look much worse for Dream Team. Juice is loose, not in a position to contest this. We'll have to just abandon the bodies. That is unfortunate. Then looking for won't really have enough money to get anybody back in. It's starting to get a little tight, but there is a buy station not too far away.
Dwayne Goo right there. Dwayne Goo ruining the dream. Looks like they bought Rudd back in.
Right away. That'll be nice.
Safe zone is getting so small, and now they've lost Juice as well. Kind of disastrous there, all things considered. And you do kind of wonder, I mean, do you fight this one out, or do you just kind of... You have not a lot of time left. Do you fight this one out, or do you just die and reset? That is...
I don't know. I kind of feel like if you sit here in space like he's doing and you don't engage anybody, there's a half chance you get a top 3 finish. There's a very good chance with 5 squads left, knowing that you're, one of them, 10 people. That means there's only, at most 1 full squad left. Really good chance that, he's going to fall here for another 90 seconds or so. Depending on how the engagements go, circle's pretty small, especially on the coast right here. So it's not even as much real estate as you'd have at this point, if it were more in the mainland. So chance to get a placement, try and find a sneaky placement in here.
Ooh, I mean, I think
you think you get more points and kills if you start another game, or you get a placement here? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a calculated.
Of course, the trade-off.
I do think you're right. That's exactly what he's thinking. To be fair,
because you can't control the queue time, and that could body you pretty hard. Harder than, I mean, it's the devil you do over the devil you don't, I guess. I'd play for the placement. It seems like that's what they might be trying to do, but it's still going to be a little bit tougher.
Well, nobody's killing each other, frankly. I mean, that's the biggest problem right here. He's trying to slow his descent as much as possible, but nobody's getting picked. And if he drops down into this at the end of all of this and he has nothing to show for it, that's just a colossally, big waste of time, all things considered.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it really is. But again, with 10 minutes and you don't know how fast the queue's going to come in and how fast the lobby's going to fill, it can get a little tough. But as we go back out to the big boards, we get a look at some of these close finishes for the rest. Up in the top, Infinite looks like they might be looking for a few opponents who got 8 kills on screen. We'll keep an eye on Red for you and let you know how that one finishes. But for the time being, got a couple close, or right here towards the end. Only 9 members left in 4 squads, 4 Infinite there at the top. So we'll see if they can close out this win. They still got, I think, all 3 members up.
They sure do. All 3 members up and targets as well. Seeing what they can do moving in here. Rudd has gone down, actually, so he got
Rudd dropped immediately.
Yeah, it was a shame.
Nope, doesn't get the placement. You're right. That was a risk. Couldn't quite make it pay off. Just in a lot of trouble here for Infinite.
Yeah, Infinite definitely in danger. Has to pop those remaining 2 armor plates. Won't even be able to get back to full armor here. 3 squads left, like you said, 7 in the game, 8 kills in the bank. Good sightlines there on a target. Doesn't quite finish it off, though. His teammate there, I think, helps him out a little bit, and they bring that one down. Congratulations on your assault rifle headshots achievement as well.
With the high ground here in a very good position. Not a lot of... It's just them and one of the squad. Oh, taking damage, though, from the opposite side of the hill. Looking for the pop. Gets one down.
One down.
Yeah, so straight 3v3, actually. The MP7 coming out. Now, like a laser is that gun, though. He gets one great knock there. Will just straight up finish him off. Still it's 2v2 now. Around the hump of the hill. Get some shots in. Can't quite bring it down. He's wasted on the other end. Oh, no. cannot tell if his teammate is still in it or not, unfortunately.
Nope. Yeah, second
No,
place,
it
14
will
kills
finish
plus whatever Swift was.
It's a bit of a rough ending there for them, all things considered. Barely enough time for them to queue back in and see how much they can do in about 5 minutes. You know, we are coming up on the end of the kill race here, so we have to see if any of our other teams are going to go back in. It does look like, you know, we're seeing almost everyone do it.
I'm mad. I didn't have plates, bro.
Oculus
trying to
looks
get
like they're
scrapping
queuing
quickly.
back in. Looks as though, yeah, Rudd's going back in as well. So the boys there from Cookbook dropping in, not Cookbook, I'm sorry. The Dream Team dropping in there as well to get Bicon on the action. So a couple of teams going in, trying to get what they can in under the radar. You know, hopefully we can get kind of an updated scoreboard here and take a quick look at it, see where everything is at. Does look very much, Sultan, like we might be seeing our first European winners of a kill race here in a good long while.
Yeah, it's starting to look that way. We saw 3 Big Uglies and Dream Team kind of fighting there towards the end with the last half hour and some place to go, but the chips really didn't fall, I think, maybe as well as they would have liked. 3 Big Uglies so close. You look at 180 kills right there behind, and still trying to get some more of this information. Still team submitting things here right as we get towards the end of the segment. KRC, you know, Connor Woods in the chat saying KRC super consistent. Swift was saying a little bit ago, they finished second in the last tournament, so really kind of had this coming. It looks like this could be the one for them, and but a really impressive performance from these teams. Looks like they're going to see if they can get a couple more kills. And I think actually also in chat, Connor mentioned that there was a chance for Dream Team. Same thing you kind of said, echoing that sentiment, that the 5 minutes spent maybe dropping in, trying to find something going, ended up not really panning out for them. They could have gotten to a really good zone, really popular, maybe like Prisoner, wherever the the chips may fall, and gotten a quick maybe 6 kills or so. But it woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? Hard to say what could have happened. They very well could have gotten the placement there. So.
Well, 3 Big Uglies here, the team that is closest, are getting ready to drop now into a match. Very limited amount of time. They maybe could do it. They might be able to do it. They have to basically hot drop as quick as possible, get down, get gear, and just start fragging out. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Dropping straight for the warehouse, or the superstore, as it were. Pulls the chute, immediately going down, grabbing whatever he can find. It's going to be... frag out here. The M91, not what he was hoping to get. 2 M91s, probably even less what he was hoping to get there, Sultan, if we're being honest. As he'll go in and grab whatever he can. Time really low here as he grabs this Uzi as well.
Yeah, we have full 3 minutes. Oh, but already seen somebody. There's one dropped and down. The second's already got damaged, and that's a really good opportunity for them to get a few kills early. Pre-fires, nothing doing. Still does confirm the kills, so right off the bat, 2 kills for them. Looks for the third, might have it, and does. Impressive there. Like it. I like it a lot. And that's some good.
Yeah. Oh my God. I just don't know. This is gonna be so close.
It's about the perfect start, though.
Yeah. I mean, again, right down to the wire here, right? Collectively, they need at least probably 7 more kills. I don't remember exactly what the point difference was. I think it's 14 points, so not quite enough yet. And he'll go down.
Ooh,
and honestly,
yeah, and already getting bodied.
That might be the end of it.
Yeah, the damage definitely RBG a little bit too much, and able to get it and confirm the kill there on Oculus. We'll see where if his teammates are in a better position, but he goes to Gulag, we may not get a chance to observe them. But yeah, really close there. I do think we might have KRC.
Gulag kills do count. That is true. So maybe he'll win in the Gulag here. He'll be able to get
part
back.
Of the plan.
Trying to get those
One
kills.
For kill.
Gulag's going to be forced to reload.
Ooh, and does. There you go. We'll take those. Okay. Okay.
Good save.
2 minutes. 9:58.
By the skin of his teeth, though, let's be honest. I mean, he was nearly out of ammunition. He nearly had to reload. That would have been a death sentence. He's going to hot drop. Goes straight down.
And his teammates, they are still looking for that bounty they picked up a second ago. They may actually, they got the target there on the top of the hill. On the top of the building. He won't be able to take that, though, without, any kind of loadout whatsoever. So it'll be up to his teammates who actually didn't drop there. They actually may have gotten a couple kills in the meantime as well. Looking for something.
The KR98 and the Uzi there in the pocket. So he does have some guns. Gets one camping at the top of the stairs. Great job.
Beautifully done.
that's a bounty that they completed as well, so they get a little bit more money. Again, though, running out of time, right? Like,
yeah, I
that's
don't
the
know
problem
at
here.
what point they'll need to report. They've got a
They
little bit of
have
the
to be
grace period,
out.
obviously.
Yeah, they have to be like out and report basically, very soon. Going up
Yeah,
to
the
the high
grace
ground
period
of
will start here at
Control.
10. They'll have until 10:05 to report scores, but I mean, it's going to start getting a little tight. You don't want to get any of your points DQ'd here.
It is worth pointing out, speaking of DQs, ladies and gentlemen, that whatever we have on the end of the scoreboard here tonight, when we end the broadcast, doesn't necessarily indicate the final standings. Usually teams come in and report, things are checked. We make sure that everything is clear before we'll report, and we'll report those in our Discord and maybe on our Twitter Insta later on tonight, so you can get an idea of who's left. As you see him dropping over the top here, really looking for that target that he did have sights on somebody who was playing around in the warehouse. Didn't finish him off though. Oh, where the heck did
Once
they
that
come
kid
from?
and find it,
Like,
I have absolutely no idea.
Like they just kind of popped up out of the ground. That was weird. Jeez.
As far as other teams running, you've got Root here, Dream Team with 5 kills. And yeah, a nice little finish there though for before we move on, I guess, to Big Uglies. Like maybe 7.
I see Moores has 3. I don't remember how many Oculus had on screen. Obviously, we don't know how much Lulu has either because we can't see them. Some damage numbers in there as well. Nothing really blowing our socks off. They are obviously, I think, going to be the closest to take out KRC.
I think Oculus had 3, didn't he? Because he got at least 2 in the first 3 they got. The other one was confirmed by his teammate, I thought. And then I think maybe one more. Yeah, the one at the top of the stairs.
They need 2 kills to win. Apparently, is what it is, and this is it. I mean, this is literally it. Ruru is the last player standing with that LMG. Gets shots in, doesn't confirm the kill. Drops. I don't think the LMG Uzi combo, what the man would want here, with all this pressure on. Just needs 2 kills to win this for his team. I mean, it's immense, right? Like the amount of pressure that he's under. Camping the stairs here. Has a time limit, but I think time limit is secondary now to cautious play and just trying to secure those last 2 kills.
2 aggressive here, yeah.
And he's
the other side of this is they could be pushing him from the roof.
Yeah, he has to be so careful here. Pops out of the roof. Great corner check. Doesn't see anyone. Looking up on the top deck. Sees no one there as well. Looks like his targets may have cleared out. Assuming, like you said, Sultan, they didn't drop down and come back on him. Pops.
Yeah, and you can hear his teammates just telling him he's got to move. There's not a lot of options sitting there. Now they're going to try and pop him. They might have wrapped right back around. I think they're on the top still. Yeah, look at that.
No, run. No, don't run out into the middle of the road. Oh my God, he pops the armor plates back in. It's stressful just to watch. He's going to hop on the ATV here and just hightail it out. I think he's going to go look for a better engagement again. Well into that grace period now. 3 minutes left. All they need are 2 kills. No, they have 14.
Yeah, don't they have the kills they need? They've got 14 total kills.
They've got 14. Yeah.
Let's see how the. Okay, we'll have to see if the with the final scores end up coming in, make sure they've got everything they need. But we are pretty sure he's got everything he needs. Obviously, with the scoreboard up, we can't. Oh, there we go. See if Ruru can find a couple more of these, but it seems like they're in the spot they need to be. We'll, like I said, we'll still try and verify and get you those final reports once we have them. If not on stream, then on our social media.
Ruru.
I think we won.
Ruru heads into the warehouse here. 2 minutes left now for them to report.
Wait,
they have 14 kills, which by our calculations, I think should be enough. And then again, yeah, he's just going to kill himself. Yeah, so they know. Either they've won or they've tied. The damage number might be enough to carry them over.
Oh, they might go over Gulag kill. Oh, that's
he's
actually very smart.
He's trying to secure the breaking kill.
Smart.
Let's go, baby. What?
Oh my goodness, that's actually really smart.
Oh my
Guaranteed interaction in the Gulag by sending. Oh my God, that's like a 5,000 IQ. If that really was the strategy, that's insanely genius. That was pretty clever.
His big wrinkly brain right there, my lord.
Bill Gates eat your heart out, and he just goes straight to the turf. What a hero! Oh my
I love it. That was
lord!
spectacular finish.
How much? How much?
Oh yeah, okay. So questions in chat about how the leaderboard works. The European portion of the tournament was, I guess, earlier this afternoon for us. It's like 7 o'clock their time, so it was around early afternoon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. They did their kill race in the same format, following the same like point totals and rules over the course of 3 hours. And then the NA portion is this 3 hours. So the leaderboard is still a cumulative effort of all the teams, but it's broken up just by times. Corbec, you'd probably be more eloquent at this than I am. Honestly, I don't know why I tackled it in the first place.
No, you're fine. You got all the major points. The European teams play at a more reasonable time for them. Their scores are recorded on the board. Unfortunately, we don't usually have stream coverage of the European teams just by dint of where we are geographically. But yeah, they play earlier. That's why those scores are on the board. And speaking of European teams, if everything holds in terms of reporting, it does look like Three Big Uglies will just have nudged out KRC there at the end, succumbing them back to that second place role for yet another tournament here on the kill race. Kind of by dint of just some amazing play there at the end. They had one game where they had to kind of hot drop in and make it stick, and they did. And Ruru played spectacularly. That was a really clever use of the gulag to drop in and just guarantee the fight and then confirm it. Again, as we said at the beginning, all numbers here are variable, right, until they're confirmed later on by our tournament organizers. But for now, you can see Oculus celebrating there on his stream. I know we don't have it up on screen anymore, but he is celebrating because it does look like Three Big Uglies will take this, KRC being in a close second, Warmongers, Dream Team, and then Revamp finishing off those top 5. So kind of staying consistent, Sultan, with our process of the EU, really setting the bar quite high, and then the NA being able to reach out and grab it.
Yeah, really impressive. Obviously, congratulations to Three Big Uglies. You can see the deficit there so tight. It's just the 5 kills. They won by 5 points, and it was just the 5 kills. Both teams with 1 first place finish, 1 second place finish, and Three Big Uglies just able to do it in 2 fewer games. The damage near identical, just about 214 damage points apart. So very tight between Three Big Uglies and KRC, just edging out the victory though. Three Big Uglies win this kill race tournament. Congratulations to them. That's a pretty impressive finish right there. Just a photo finish basically.
Yeah, about as close as you can get to a photo finish. Thank you so much for watching the broadcast, guys. But before we wrap up today, I just wanted to make one last plug. You should know that the Call of Duty Endowment, which is a veterans oriented charity here, is running this weekend a special Fearless Pack in partnership with Modern Warfare. You can buy that for $10. You get 10 items in the pack. It includes an operator, assault rifle, Broodplant, camo, and more. 100% of Activision's net proceeds from that package will go back to helping currently unemployed vets find jobs during these difficult economic times. That will be a limited time offer until they hit 300 donations, $3 million, my apologies, in donations for the Call of Duty Endowment, but definitely something you guys should check out, and you can see that on Twitter. Anyway, Sultan, if you want to close us out for the day, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, well, thank you for taking the lion's share of the cast there. I feel like you were crushing it. Really solid. From all the teams, I really enjoyed being able to jump in. This is my first time being able to cast Warzone, so thoroughly enjoyed it. But if you do love Battle Royales, which you probably do because you're here, we've got Apex Legends tomorrow for you. And that'll be right here on CGL1. I can get that time for you here in just a second, but that'll be another kill race tournament and Apex in a very similar format. So
yep,
definitely excited for that one. Should be a pretty good watch. I actually don't know that time. So what do you have that one? I'm slacking. 1 p.m. Eastern. Right here in CGL1, and I probably know that. I think I'm producing that, but we've got the Apex for you here. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and we'll be back here. I'm excited actually. Apex is a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with this one too. We've got a Battle Royale weekend, I guess, continuing for you on CGL. But Corbec, any final thoughts for our lovely viewers?
No, just thanks so
Awesome,
much
buddy.
for watching, guys. Thanks for participating in all our battle royale tournaments, and keep your eyes to the or your ears to the ground, your eyes open for more kill race content for Warzone coming out in the next couple of weeks. We're hoping to do a big sort of kill race series, a couple of tournaments culminating in a big final match. So something keep your eyes on the Discord, keep your eyes on the Twitter, keep your eyes on our website, and you'll hear about it.
Nice. Yeah, should be a lot of fun. Definitely excited for that, guys. If you appreciate, if you enjoyed the stream, we would love it if you throw us a follow or a Twitch Prime, something like that, onto the stream. Of what keeps us going, keeps funding those prize pools across all of our titles. And follow us on Twitter if you haven't yet. It's where a lot of the information comes out the fastest for all of our upcoming tournaments and things. That includes FGC and Overwatch, again, Rainbow Six, and battle royales like these, among other things. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Should be a lot of fun stuff. But I think that will just about do it for us. Thank you for joining, everybody that came to watch. We had a good time. Again, congratulations to 3 Big Uglies on their victory. Big applause to them. And Oculus, I think, still celebrating his stream, absolutely crushing it. It was exciting to watch them play. But that'll do it for us, guys. I hope you have a wonderful night and a wonderful end of your Saturday. And we'll see you tomorrow here on CGL1 for Apex. You guys have a great night.